Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Captain, urgent news from the General.
Why not really blow it up, Captain?
Captain Claw, embarking into hostile environment.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain.
Captain.
No, Captain. They're alive.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. It's your captain speaking. O-Town's here. We are going to rank all 1,000 of the sidekicks.
If you ain't first, you're last.
He chose poorly.
Not as bad as you think.
Yeah, it's worse.
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I don't really like it, but I thought you might like it the best.
Love it.
All the way to the top 10.
Best for everyone or best for you?
You have chosen wisely.
So, obviously, I mean, when you get your own shirt, that says something, right? So we're going to rank all the sidekicks. It's not easy.
It's very hard.
Because there are so many factors.
Yes.
Okay? And we'll get to that in a second. First things first. Huge shout out to the Crockpots. We have Bromantic and Greg's, our copper Crockpots. We have our chrome Crockpots, the Bard S tier, Alien, 619 Sports, and O-Town. We have our camo Crockpot, Matt Rod, and we have our Captain Crockpot, CityRunner. Thank you guys so much for your support. If you'd like to support as well, go to patreon.com/CaptainCrockpot and become a Crockpot today. For only $9.99. Just kidding.
Whoa. $999?
Hey, whatever they want to support,
They can do.
they can do it. Announcement. Been announcing it for a while. Going to keep it going. Tournament coming May 10th. Join us. It's in Central Florida. Sign up. Use that QR code. Pause the video. Thank you. We're flying. Because we're going to talk. I know we're going to be long-winded about this. There's no question in my mind that we're going to talk very long. Way longer than is needed.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a blast.
But it'll be fun.
It'll be a blast. We're going to have a good time. And that's why you guys are here. You watch these videos knowing that we talk forever and that we turn a 10-minute video into 3 hours because we can.
We're doing long format podcasts.
Right.
We're talking it out.
We're talking it out.
Thoughts, feelings,
so,
notions.
The reasons why it's hard, this is going to be a tough one because how do you factor things, right? One of the things that kept coming across, I want to just say, okay, look, these fighters are the strongest fighters. You know, like, these are the strongest fighters. But I kept coming back to how do they impact the kit? How do they help the hero win? And how much weight does that have? Because, like, if we just go strongest fighters, that might mean one thing. But then it's like, well, you know, that's like, okay, so you have how do they help the hero?
Yep.
You have how much damage do they do?
How
tanky
tough
are they? How much utility do they have? Like, can they take cards out? Can they look at stuff? Discard?
Yep.
Are they ranged? Are they melee? How much health do they have? What's their movement? You know, like, there's a lot of factors into deciding who's the best.
But the big one, I think, is how badly does the hero need them?
Okay, so is that what we're going off of? That's what we're giving the most rank.
That was my second thought. My initial thought was, okay, how good are they? And then, like, so how strong are they, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
But then immediately it was like, well, let's remind ourselves who's really important here. They're a sidekick. Their goal is to support the hero. Yeah. And so if you're really a good sidekick, that doesn't necessarily just mean that you're going to go in and smack people.
Right.
But I think the impact that you have on a game by getting full value out of your sidekick, I think that's what we should go off of.
But I don't want this tier list to be which hero needs this, like, which sidekick is most needed by their hero.
Okay.
For example, I think without Shuri, Black Panther can't win. Like, pretty much. Okay? He needs Shuri to get a scheme off, to have a chance. He needs 2 to win. Pretty much. I don't think she's the best sidekick in the game.
I agree.
She has awesome cards, and she's the most needed by by Black Panther. but I don't think she's the best sidekick in the game. And so that can't be the like if we did a whole tier list of which sidekick is most hated by their, she would be the top one, I think, for me. Number 2, Honor Guard would be number 1.
Yes.
Because literally
Oda can't do
he can't do anything
without
as they die.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're on kind of the same page.
It should be a balance. I think that should be I think that should be an important factor. Probably 50% of what makes them good, like, is the impact they can have just on the game.
Right.
But I think also it should just be generally how, like, this maybe isn't what it is, but like how badly do you want to kill them as the opposing person?
Sure.
Like the value that they can provide, is it worth spending X amount of cards on killing them? Because they can do
the thing
a
is,
lot
though,
of things.
You could be so good and so tanky that your opponent says, I'm not going to even try to kill you. AKA Daisy sometimes.
Right,
you know?
but she's so good.
And like even like the sidekicks in the Buffy sets, they are surprisingly strong, surprisingly tanky, and so just ignore them. Just ignore them.
Yeah.
You know, and
but
I still think that they're strong, even though you just decide I don't want to kill them.
I agree.
So I think we're gonna have to. It's gonna be a case by case basis. We're gonna have to talk it out and just go case by case.
Dude, there have been some games where like I have soloed the game with the Jackalope. You know?
Right.
Because he's so hard to kill.
Right.
And it's just and Jackalope's good enough that he can almost end the fight just him sometimes. So that's definitely should be a factor. But Bigfoot also, he kind of needs him, kind of doesn't.
Here's a question for everybody in the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you value the most? When you saw this was going to be all the sidekicks ranked, what did you think? Did you think, oh, they're going to rank it by this? Like, this is the thing they're factoring the most. Did you think it was going to be a whole bunch of things, a hodgepodge? Or was there a specific thing you're like, well, how much damage can they get? What is the thing that you value the most in a sidekick? Card draw. You know, there's a lot of things that a sidekick should do to help out their hero. Let's start it. Let's start it, though.
Yeah, let's do it. How are we doing this?
Well,
we're just going to start...
No. But yeah, of course. All right, so we're going to do this. Let's just get that up there. Don't bump it. And that one's right there. I think this will probably work nicely. So what we've got, and actually let me get the bottom first, like a hero. Oh, yeah. And then this goes there. A little bit of this. A little bit of mid in the mid. Should have started with mid after the top. That would have made more sense. Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that, guys. That's beautiful. And I don't know if we're even going to use this, but there it is in case we want to use it. Oh, right there. Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be so hard.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Give me... Okay, so... for me, so here's what happened. I was ranking these. I started ranking. I had, like, how many cards are playable by them. I had their health down.
Oh, man.
I started doing all that stuff, and then I was like, well, wait a second, because I was trying to ignore how much they helped out their hero, just trying to do it the other thing. And I was like, but I can't. I literally cannot rank them if I'm ignoring that. And so I just stopped.
Yeah.
And then now here we are.
Yeah.
So, but I have a pretty good indication of who I think is the worst sidekick in the game.
Okay, let's hear it. I want to hear the worst one, because this would be a good way to start.
I would say the worst sidekick in the game is the squirrel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here's why. All right, please hand me the squirrel.
Tippy Toe.
Tippy Toe. No. Sorry, Tippy Toe. And actually, since this is only one thing for this one.
Definitely the squirrel.
Guys, poor Tippy Toe. Okay. Now, here's the deal. There are 8 of these squirrels. That's pretty cool. That sounds awesome. They have 6 playable cards, 3 defenses, for a max of 4, I believe.
Maximum 4 block.
If one of them die, they all die.
In that zone, in that space. Yeah.
And the worst thing about the squirrels is that you cannot choose to not make one. And so this is, again, we're factoring now this is why they're bad, because of what the hero has to do. The hero has to make a squirrel every turn. And so they're faintless. They don't have much damage. They have like almost no damage.
Almost nothing.
And you can just do whatever you want. You want an effect to happen? Go find a squirrel.
And Squirrel Girl relies on her squirrels too much. She can't do anything if she doesn't have any squirrels.
Right.
And they're too easy to kill.
Too easy to kill. Right.
So they actually hurt her.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they make her too easy to beat. They actually are a liability for her.
If the squirrels were like...
And her strength. They're both.
Yeah, there's just so many things. We could go forever saying the things that could improve the squirrels. But because of that, Tippy Toe and the gang, all 8 of them, we're going to drop them right there into the bottom tier. We're going to do this, guys. It's going to go best, just like tier maker. Okay? Best, worst of that top tier. Best, worst. So if something comes ahead of her, we'll just slide her down. All right. Now this next one's arguable.
Yeah.
You could make a case that they are potentially worse than the squirrels. Guildenstern and Rosencrantz are arguably worse, but they're also not. And also, you could argue. Yeah, no. Hand me Gildy.
They're definitely bad.
And actually, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, I think, is the.
It's Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Yeah, so Rose and Guild. So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern have 6 health. And, like, they don't do much. So they have a good amount of playable cards, actually. Like, cards you could actually play. But they don't really do anything. The cards are so low because of Hamlet's... His whole thing, like... He has to deal damage to deal damage, right? He's got to take damage.
He has to take damage to deal damage, yeah.
That's their only purpose.
Is to take damage.
And to understand how bad they are, just understand the story of Hamlet, right? Like, once I understood that, once someone in the comments explained who they were in the story, that they're the people that try to get Hamlet killed, and then Hamlet kills them, it's like, oh, okay, so they're not really even sidekicks. They're just meat puppets so that he can get better and get stronger. Which is that's the whole purpose.
Right.
There's some utility you can get out of them. Like, you can move them. You could go and attack with them, but
they're an extra body, sort of.
The only time you really want to go in and attack with them is if they have 1 health, and you think you can get some value out of someone attacking them.
Sure.
What are your thoughts?
I kind of agree. Like, their main purpose is to be like a kind of a battery. Like, I think that's what Zero said. Like a battery for Hamlet's ability. Like, they're really just there to take some damage so that Hamlet can use his ability without having to deal damage to himself. So in that sense, they're kind of helpful, but they're also not. Yeah, they're never really a threat, and they're actually kind of a liability because you don't want to spend cards to defend them.
Right. You can't, like, they can play the 0.
Sure.
That's hand size, but you need that.
It's also Hamlet's best defense.
You have to play for Hamlet.
So, like, you don't want to spend cards to defend them, but at the same time, if you let them die, it's sort of like taking 6 health from Hamlet. So you do have to defend them. It's like such a weird... You're saving their life so that they can die, essentially. It's weird. Right. They can die for you, like, so that they can deal damage to themselves.
They have requested the cards, so we're going to do the cards.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense. I understand it. All right, so here is the character card. There's Hambone. So I do still think that they are more important than... They're not more... Are they more important than the Squirrels?
I think so. I think they actually have a little bit more utility than the Squirrels because Hamlet can at least reliably use Rosencrantz and Guildenstern for his ability. Squirrel Girl cannot rely on the Squirrels because they're so squishy. They don't actually have any playable cards. So, like, even if she needed to keep them alive, she couldn't. Whereas Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, you might be able to keep them alive if you really needed to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they actually can exist and provide some value, whereas the Squirrels are just so easy to have no value at all.
So I'm trying to... I'm going to try to make it a little brighter here. And then here is Squirrel Girls, by the way, guys. Here's Squirrels, since we're talking about her. Let's just try to the best of our ability, go from the bottom to the top.
I like it. Yeah, I agree. We may have to shift it a little bit.
We'll have to shift, but that's okay. And guys, by the way, that was one thing that was very apparent as I was doing this was there are so many really good sidekicks.
Yes.
There's so many really good ones.
Of
like
very helpful ones.
That was shocking. Okay, so let me just make this a little brighter first.
I don't think there should be many more in the bottom tier. Maybe one.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay, so who's your one in the bottom tier?
The last one in the bottom tier? I don't even know. I don't even think I would.
I don't think there's any more bottom tiers.
Everybody else has some utility that's the only one that I could see. Even then.
Oh, yeah, but I think it would go low.
I think the writers maybe could go low.
I would say, I think that they are better than Wiggy.
The writers?
Yeah. I think they're better than Wiggy.
Why?
What does Wiggy do? He spins and he has 9 health.
It's a lot of health.
Yeah, but he doesn't. You can't use any blocks on him. Beowulf has 9. I think it's 9 blocks, right? Like you can't block Wiggy. So if you're not blocking for Wiggy, then
he has 12.
Is it 12?
Beowulf, I think, has 12 defenses. I'm pretty sure.
3 skirmishes, 3 Grendels, 3 feints, 3
War Kings.
War Kings, but you could use it on defense, I guess.
But I agree. Like he's an extra body that but he's also enough health that the opponent has to throw some meaningful stuff into him in order to actually take him down. Otherwise, he is going to start to get value.
Let's do Wiggy.
Yeah, let's do Wiggy.
I'm not saying he's going to be there, but let's just.
He's definitely not bottom.
Yeah, so I would put Wiggy at low.
Yeah.
So drop the mini down there.
I think I'd agree with that.
And
that's tough. He does have some. He doesn't really have a whole lot of utility other than just soaking up some damage, and he can soak up a lot of damage.
Here's what we're gonna do: we're gonna split this in half, and you try to find Beowulf while I try to find Beowulf, and that's what we'll do. They don't slide very much anymore, which is unfortunate. So do this little flip book. Go flip book strat. You got him? Okay.
Yeah.
What? We can get rid of the other ones.
Yeah.
So Wiggy's thing, right? He's got the offense. He doesn't have his attack is like
he can throw. He could throw a skirmish if you really need to, but you don't really want to. But he can also throw that 4 that draws you cards. He can throw that 3.
But you want that as Beowulf because that is one of your. You can bait that. You can bait them thinking it's the.
Yeah, you're right.
It's the ancient heirloom, and you don't throw the 4, and you don't want to throw your defenses. You really don't want to play anything for Wiggy, and you just let him. You hopefully get your schemes. Like in fact, you could mulligan for his schemes, I guess, and just try to
go get some sidekicks and then block it out.
Right.
Well, he's tanky. He's tanky, and that's pretty much it. And he allows you to hopefully, he allows you to make it to a later game where Beowulf's a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'd agree with that.
Okay, so now next up you're saying the writers.
So
let's just rank the writers next.
Yeah, let's do the writers. It's a little more difficult, I think, with the writers because they're all different.
Yeah,
so there's like
here's put them up in the thing.
Yeah.
So here's little bonus points for the writers, which is that the little there's different art in each one. Okay, guys, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful little addition here.
They can throw some. I will say they can throw some good attacks. In fact, they may not be low. I'm just thinking of they're preventing Aridin from getting his ability, and they're enabling him to get his ability by some of their cards allowing them to swap.
Yeah, you get more card value for them. For them
dying doing stuff.
They need to be alive so they can die to do the card stuff.
Yeah.
Ignore values, get cards back in your hand, attack other spaces. Feint, I think, is one of them.
You need them to die in order to get Feint online.
I think that's pretty important.
It is very important, but in another way, they're also if you're able to somehow avoid killing them, Now they're making Aridin like way worse.
But Aridin can choose to kill them.
Not always.
It's not like that hard. He's got.
You're right. It's not.
He's got
that
a lot
hard.
of cards.
He's got a lot of cards that can kill a guy.
And they're 1 health.
Yeah, they're pretty. Yeah, I would maybe put him up at low mid.
I do think that they. Yeah, I don't think that they're weed level.
In one sense, he doesn't need them because they only have 3 unique cards. I'm pretty sure they have those 3 little 1 red value attacks. I could be wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong.
No,
guys.
I think you're right. They have the 3 ones.
So in one sense, he doesn't really need them to like play their cards.
Wild Hunt.
Wild Hunt, they can
that
do
ski, that versatile that deals 2 damage for every. What's the one that's like?
It's 1 damage for each for each fighter adjacent to one of yours. Right, 1 damage to each fighter.
So if you can spread them out, and then you can nuke.
You could nuke all the sidekicks. Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
That's really good.
So, yeah, I do think he needs them. Not needs them, but he likes to get value out of them. They can provide some good value. Yeah, the more I think about it,
they're pretty good. Like, you want to bump them even high mid? Nah, let's keep them
no,
here. I think
at the same time, you want them to die.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if they do die without playing any cards, Aridin's still fine because then he's gotten full value out of most of his stuff.
It is. It's just a. I mean, it's just a cool.
Very interesting. Why don't we do Patroclus while we're on the subject of sidekicks dying to give you more power?
Okay, do it.
Yeah. Patroclus has got to be a little higher though, I think.
I have him pretty high.
Yeah, he's very good.
Because, I mean, so okay, Patty. Let's get this guy here. So.
Oh yeah, let's look him up.
So Patroclus, he can throw all the Patty cards, right? All the typical self-damage to deal damage stuff. I got him. And
I think every Achilles attack he can throw as well. Every attack that...
Yes. It's just the Achilles. It's just,
defenses.
Is it the Spear Throw? Spear Throw also, right?
Spear Throw is also just Achilles, I'm pretty sure.
But then also the Patroclus swaps.
Yeah, the defenses...
The helms.
Achilles has some unique defenses, and the heals. But every attack that Achilles can throw, Pat can throw.
Anything you can do. Yeah.
Just not as good as Achilles, or when he's angry. But yeah, I would almost put him high.
Give me the hotel.
Yeah, I'd almost put him high.
And he's got 6 health. So Patroclus is so important because as soon as he dies, Achilles gets +2 on his attacks. And he's going to draw every single time. So he becomes angry. And so literally, if the game goes like this, if you kill Pat early, you lose.
Yeah, pretty much.
And if you kill Pat, the every time you play against Achilles, there's this window. For me, it's like 12 cards, between 15 to 10 cards left in the deck. I'll go for like 12 or so. When Achilles has about 12 cards left in deck, that's when you want to actually kill Pat. Up until that point, you don't really want to do it. So, and if you do it too early, you lose because he draws on defense. Every time he wins combat. So you draw on defense, you draw on offense.
Depends on the matchup. You may want to kill him as early as possible.
Pat?
It depends,
No. Or as early, so...
It depends on the matchup and the map and stuff.
Do you remember
too.
every single time that you tried doing that? You kept coming back. You're saying, dude, I did it again.
No, I'm saying
like,
as a kid.
I killed Patty.
Okay, what perspective are we talking about?
I see what you're saying. For Achilles wants him to die. Yes.
Yes.
I was saying, I'm talking as the person fighting against Achilles. You want, as the person fighting Achilles, you want to keep Pat alive
about
the whole
10,
time.
Yeah, 10 to 12 cards or so.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, yes, then I agree.
Okay.
We're talking about two different, the opposite perspective. But you're right. Yeah.
You'd be like, dude, I did it again.
I did it again. Patrick was just sitting there. I just want to kill him.
I had to kill him. He was right. Because what happens is he's annoying.
Yes.
Because every turn he's coming at you and he's attacking you, and you can't attack him. You can't fight him. Here's another little thing, another little tip, which is this. What you do is you make it look, and someone's done that. I've seen this many times, but you make it look like you want to kill Pat. The opponent's going to be like, wait a second. If you want to kill Pat,
maybe
I'm not so sure.
Maybe I don't want to send him in.
Oh, maybe I'm going to start protecting him. I'll start playing cards to defend him. And No, but that's a risky game to play. So choose wisely your opponent to do that too, because if they know, no, I know that if you kill him, I win, then you're in trouble. But he can throw the 4s that gain actions if he's alive. He can throw the double attacks, which I wouldn't, but he can. He can do the recursion. Okay.
Yep.
Always defend Patroclus with the recursion 2, because then when Pat dies, you don't lose it. You can't lose it. Okay?
Unless you feint attack like a genius.
Like a G. So there you go though. I think high works for now at least. I like high.
Well, once the other people get out and we kind of talk about him more,
he might go high mid, but he's really important.
He can just do so much, and he's also such a stress. Yeah, I think that's the big thing. He's very stressful to deal with because like you said, he's either gonna sit there and be annoying and gain value, or he's gonna you're gonna kill him too early, and then you're gonna be really sad.
I just figured out how to make our life easy. Watch this. Let's do Any Christmas next. Isn't that so?
Dude, look at you thinking with your brain.
A genius. That's the top card. Let me do that one. All right. We were just gonna be like all night. All right. Any Christmas. So Charlie, guys. Charlie helped out too. Charlie he's important. Now, also speaking, actually, wait, let me go back to this. All right, guys. Guildenstern Rosencrantz. There's not a bump in gameplay for the quality of the components, but when you feel the sidekicks from the newer sets compared to the older sets, you'll notice a difference. It's like
chef's kiss.
It's chef's kiss. It's beautiful. Okay. Yeah. There's a couple different things. They are, as you can see,
they filleted the edges and they're so nice.
Oh my gosh, dude, that video that I just sent it to you.
No, what?
There's a short. Guys, go watch our short. It's really, really funny. I cut it from one of our videos forever ago, and you talk about filleting the edges.
Did I really?
Yeah, and it's really, and like the way I edited it is so funny. You're just going on and on explaining the fillet, and it's like I'm pushing in slowly into your face, like you're slowing down. It's good. All right, but guys, so
I can imagine.
Check it out though. Check it out. Check out the. They also did my favorite thing, which is where they break the wall, right? They're drawing over the lines. Love it. So quality bonus right there. Same with Charlie. Quality bonus feels so good. Feel that. Come on.
I have the
Come on. Yeah.
The best feeling sidekicks, which are the undercard.
They are the best feeling sidekick. They got the royal treatment.
The royal treatment.
So Charlie is very important. Charlie, first off,
they didn't do it with the Witcher sets.
No.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
Well, I mean, that means that they had to cut costs in certain ways to probably make money with IP and stuff.
Makes sense.
The more think about this. So here you go. Look, guys. Here's why when you don't do IP, when it's a public domain thing, you get higher quality components. Think about the components in Tales to Amaze, Slings and Arrows, Sun's Origin, right? You get really solid minis. Yeah, all of them. Daisy. All of them. All right. Anyways, it's all good components, guys, but these just feel a little extra. So, what Charlie can do, first off, he's the first ranged one that we have, and range is really important.
Yep.
But he's also a beef cake central. Like, I don't know if he goes there or not, but I think he's better than Pat. He's ranged. They can swap, okay, just like Pat, which is huge for it's a great ability to have. His bottom dealing is awesome. He can draw. He can block for high against range. He can block for four times, and if they're adjacent, then he heals.
That is the thing. He's important enough that you will probably try to kill him.
But he's so
and
tanky.
Then you will probably fail.
Right.
There's a good chance you fail at killing him, and so you'll end up wasting resources into Charlie, which makes him very good.
He's like Daisy level tanky almost.
He's up there.
And you want to fight him because you don't necessarily want to deal damage
You don't want
to
to fight
Annie. You want her to deal damage to you first, and then once you've gone low enough, then you start dealing damage to her, kind of a thing. And you try to get Charlie out of the way, but he's so tanky. That's pretty interesting.
He's very good.
He's good.
He draws away from Annie, and then you can swap into Annie, and then sit back with Charlie and smack a Rooney.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I might agree. I might think he's better than
I think
than Pat.
Yeah, I think for now this goes like this. Actually, I feel like this is kind of like setting our.
The problem is that just Achilles Pat is such a better.
Maybe not.
Achilles Pat is just a better fighter by like a pretty good amount.
You're saying Achilles Pat combo.
Achilles Pat combo is just a better combo. They're just a better kit overall than Annie Charlie.
But I don't want to look at I don't want to factor in that too much. Like, if Squirrel was really good, even with the worst sidekick ever, then the Squirrels would still be at the very bottom. They're not just down here because she's awful. You know.
Yeah.
So I think, and also Annie Christmas is better than she's better than we give her credit for.
I just think Pat. There is an argument to be made that Pat can do. He has more mix-up kind of stuff than Charlie, sort of.
He has more versatility, does he? Yeah,
he's got more cards.
There's more mind
play.
games. There's more mind games. You're definitely trying to keep Charlie alive always, and with Pat, you want him to die, but then sometimes you kind of don't.
Well, he's got really good. You can get really good value with also his auto damage. He's got auto damage that he can do with his battle frenzy. He can hit for decently high values. He can wily fighting.
Who do you guys thinks is better? Who is better?
That's really tough.
Or Patroclus. Who is better? Ranged 8 health, melee 6 health, but wants to die.
Who do we think can do more damage? I think probably Pat can do more damage than Charlie can.
Sure, because they don't want to kill him. Is that if that's what you're factoring in? But also, Pat does more damage dead.
Yeah, he continues to do more damage, sort of.
But also, you could look at it as he doesn't.
He's not playing cards.
He's not doing damage because he needs to be dead.
Either way, he's a higher source of damage.
The way that you viewed this one,
opponent.
it's the same way, right? With that, like it's
a
you don't
trade.
really need them. Yeah, I like that.
I agree.
I'm locking that in.
Okay.
But unless every other person says no. Charlie over Pat. Jeremy, respect. Charlie better than Pat. Double crunch. Played 2 games against Charlie tonight. He's a brat. Really annoying. Hard to kill. He's good. Skull Scarf.
Yeah. I agree.
Give me the top card. Oh, this is a good one. Oh wait, sorry, I got no one to look. We got this one. The Jabberwock. The Jabberwock. Good old Jabs.
Another 8 health. Dude, he might be higher than.
He's not. And but you place, and then I will argue, and I'll move it immediately. I thought he would be, and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh.
I don't know.
He's a similar kind of conundrum.
I do think he's got to be.
Oh my gosh, no.
He's got to be like maybe there.
No.
Dude. I'll give you this. I'll give you this as I'm thinking about it, because to keep him alive, you have to spend quality.
Yep. And you're not going to use. You're only attacking with those 4 Jabberwock cards, or regroups and stuff. If you decide to be risky and throw a Manxum Foe, it's a bad decision.
I agree.
And you don't want to throw Memento Shift. That's a bad decision. You need those for Alice as big. You need to throw 7s on the Mentis. You need to throw the 5 minimum, whatever, or 6 minimum. What's it called? Manxum Foe.
Yeah.
So you have to only throw your red 4s as Jabberwock. And so you're only defending him with. Are you blocking with the skirmishes? Are you blocking with the feints?
See, yeah, that's a tough decision. He is very tanky, and what I will say is that the opponent does need to kill him, which is cool.
Opponent does want to kill.
You really want to kill Jabberwock.
You want to kill Jabberwock, but also at the same time, it's like, if I attack you and you block with a skirmish, I'm fine. Like, I'm glad you did that. Like, that's that was not good. Now Alice is dead, kind of thing.
Well, I don't know. I kind of disagree because that damage is gonna. Alice is probably gonna be able to body block with Jabberwock later, anyways. And this way, I'm getting to play more of the Jabberwock cards. And
I also agree.
Alice is tanky enough.
I agree against myself.
Yeah, like Alice is tanky enough, I think, with her healing potentially and her +1 values that, like, if you're spending cards into the Jabberwock, I'm happy.
Okay.
And if I can play all 4 Jabberwock attacks, that feels pretty good. That's 2 5s and 2 semi 6s.
I think this though. I think this at least, at most, like
move 2. No healing.
Just for the Wild Hunt purple card.
No
like,
other utility.
Just like, comparing that, like exactly.
Well, the other thing with
there's
this
only
is
those 3. There's those 4 cards, and that's it.
The other thing with these that I am remembering is that they can play the Recursion 3 and kill themselves, and you can play that 3 with them over and over again. And
yeah, boom, back in your hand, right?
Yeah,
boom, back in your hand.
Kill
back
the
in your hand, back in
kill
your hand.
the riders.
It's literally whatever you want to do with them. Yeah, that's okay.
They might be that.
Yeah, you're right. All right, cool.
I agree.
I like it.
I agree with it.
I like it.
Jabberwock though.
Whoa, JB Hoops said,
tough.
"I think the Jabber is the best sidekick yet." JB Hoops, you gotta write the Jabber is high. If he had real blocks, he could be top. At least in terms of being a nuisance.
His only really good blocks are kind of like
ranking.
faint and skirmish, and like both of those kind of feel bad to play when you're not Alice.
Yep.
Like, but he does. I would almost put him high mid just because of how much damage he can do and how brutal he can be to deal with. Like, if you don't kill him, he can help Alice close out the game really quickly.
All right.
But I think yeah.
No. We can adjust at the end, but I don't think. First off, I don't think we're gonna have much down here. And
okay.
I think as we get out, we'll be like, oh yeah, your jab's not better. There's a lot of ones that are better. All right, we have an interesting one. We have, I don't know how to say it, but I'm gonna say Giles and Xander. So for those who don't know, you choose either Xander or Giles. Similar to Yen Triss, but it's your sidekicks. And then the mini also is double-sided, like theirs. Pretty cool. I think they're pretty good. They have 20 playable cards from the deck, first off.
Wow.
Which is one of the most.
Wow.
Like, there's a lot of... All the Buffy set sidekicks are really strong, actually.
Yeah.
So there's... The thing is, you have choice. You can choose. Do you want to be Xander? Xander's 5 cards. His 5 unique cards are 5 schemes. 3 of them let me look into your hand and pull out a card.
I thought that was Giles.
That's what I meant to say if I didn't say it. Giles has 5 schemes.
Yeah.
Okay. Xander has, I think it's 3 attacks and then 2 versatiles that become a 6.
Yeah.
Or 2s.
Yeah.
So you can kind of like, you just get a pick. What do you want?
Do you want more combat cards or more disruption?
Exactly. Now, if you go Giles, he is very easy to kill compared to Xander. Much easier to kill, right? Not much easier. There's 2 less cards that he can block with. And you want to go for him. He only has 6 health.
I would put him low mid. Because Xander's like just kind of meh. He's good. And Giles can have a big impact on the game, but he's also, like you said, squishy. So he's kind of a liability. Or he's not a liability. He's just kind of easy to...
But you got draw 3. So think about this. Ready? So Giles, or let's say, yeah, sure. Let's say Giles. Giles and Buffy walk up to solo hero. Buffy walks through solo hero. Giles gets on the other side. You just pinned them. They had no chance to stop it. You draw 3 cards. Bada bing, bada boom. Merry Christmas.
I have an idea.
or you maneuver in and you take out their card, right? Like, there's a lot of things you could do. What is your idea?
You're kind of weird, but in order to really know who's the strongest sidekick,
we battle.
Yes, with just sidekicks, only take their playable cards from the deck.
This is like a phone booth. This is not. No, then that would not. That's interesting. Just the people with the most cards would win.
Yeah.
Because you just go regroup, attack, 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 and the person's like, "Let me block with all my cards." Oh, now I have nothing left. Yeah, that would not work. But it is interesting. I do think that the number of playable cards is a really important factor.
And their survivability is huge.
Survivability, right? And the cards that they play, they want like. You don't. It's okay playing them because Buffy has a lot of good defenses. She's got her best defenses are just her.
Yeah.
I would do this probably. I'm not saying Buffy's better than Alice. She might be. I don't think she is necessarily, but I'm saying I do believe that Xander and Giles, the ability to choose your sidekick alone factors into their strength. And then their cards that they can play. 20 cards they can play. Card draw. They have movement, feints, regroups, the whole kit and caboodle.
One thing I will say about Jabberwock is that two of his playable cards are only good against a hero. Like, if you're trying to use your sidekick to fight another sidekick.
Right. You're right. Jabber says if the opposing fighter is a hero, then it's a 5. And then you're right.
The other one is whatever. The 4 with the 2 auto damage afterwards, just insanely good.
Xander's purple 2 becomes a 6 if he's next to her. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty good.
You can bait that. You can do things when you play that. Like, you can say that for defense, and there's a lot that can happen.
It's weird, yeah. In practice, the Jabberwock, like in an actual game, I feel like the Jabberwock is still better. Like more critical to deal with, more potential like ruining kind of thing. His attacks can be great, and his body block ability is very good. His survivability can be good enough. 8 health is a lot that you're going to have to deal with.
It is a lot.
So in practice, I feel like Jabberwock might be better, but I could see what you're saying in terms of utility. Xander and Giles maybe have a little bit more.
Nice, Marco. Glad you're here. All right. So, guys, we've got the actors. We've got the actors, and they are very fun. Let me drop this thing right here.
If you tell me that the actors are better than Jabberwock, I'm going to lose my mind.
The actors are better than Jabberwock. The actors were very highly rated, actually. Here's why. So, I got them way up here. Let me see.
In terms of what they actually can do, I guess they're body blockers.
I have them as the best so far.
What?
And here is why. Right, the body blocking thing, okay, is huge.
Well, I guess they're really needed by Shakespeare.
They have 16 playable cards, not including their 3 recursion cards that they can cycle
and
infinitely
over and over again,
as long as no one's fainting them. But you're usually not fainting those
because you kind of want to faint Shakespeare.
Yeah. Well, there's some stuff that you want to faint for him, but and then Shakespeare can bring them back multiple times.
Right.
And there's so much and Shakespeare needs them.
Yeah.
He really
needs them.
Really needs them. One of the things I value the most is recursion. So
yeah,
that's why I really like this. But now you're not really ever attacking because Pat is getting fainted on offense. You don't ever want to attack with the recursion, but you could play it on defense. But anyways, so yeah, I've got the actors way up there. But you disagree. What do you think there should be? Was that a pun, JB Hoops?
Yeah, I'm slowly coming around. I do think like in terms of nuisance, like forcing your opponent to deal with them, they are such a nuisance. They can be a bigger nuisance than even the Jabberwock. And I would agree with that.
Yeah, they are a problem. And they can play the feints.
Yeah. So you can't
and you can still do like the line, like their cards that they play still go into the line.
Still go in the line.
So you can still recur feints. They could have multiple feints. They could have
auto damage.
Yeah, they can block for 4.
They can attack for 4, printed 4 multiple times.
What's the one that's
A2 Brute?
A2 Brute.
Can you attack with that?
It's a 3 versatile and it's for any.
It could be a 6.
It could be
or 7.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Exactly. So you can have 3 because it includes yourself. So it's gonna be 4 plus 3, 7.
Yeah.
They're good. They are good. They're very important too.
Yeah, and bringing them back is very helpful. There's a lot of them. I think quantity is a factor.
And they're one health. Exactly. Quantity is a huge factor. One health sidekick. So it's like
one health sidekicks are secretly the best.
They're so good because if you attack me and you know I can block for, let's say I just played my 3, right?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna recur, and you know I'm gonna recur it. So that what are you attacking with if you're trying to kill me?
I can't attack. I have to throw a 4.
Throw a 4 or higher, right? So guess what I do? I'll take it.
Don't defend.
Yeah, get wrecked.
And now you just saved yourself.
I just saved I just saved a card. You just lost a 4. I'll bring him back anyways. I don't care, right? So they're pretty solid. They're really solid. All right.
I agree.
Cool. This is fun, dude. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really weird to think about.
Because there's a lot of factors, and it's like, well, who are we against? You know, obviously, guys, listen. Like, if we're against, I don't know, Medusa, I guess, then yeah, Charlie's better than the
sidekicks or the actors.
The actors, right? If
but
you're
overall,
against Ghost Rider, if you're like, sure, but overall, as a blanket, if you're not looking at your opponent just in the individual matchups, I would say this is pretty solid here.
Yeah.
We got Shuri, my girl, my sweet girl, sweet Shuri, sweet Shuri. Guys, she's an angel. Where do we start? Where do we start? I guess we start with this. First off,
she is crucial to Black Panther.
She's absolutely crucial to his kit.
She's ranged. So she can attack.
Yeah.
She can heal Black Panther.
So I have her like here.
She can steal. And in terms of overall utility, yeah, she's like it's very interesting because she's gonna help bait out feints. She's gonna be attacking you with those analyze and adjusts from far away. Or the heals.
Yeah, she can throw her 2 schemes, right? She takes your cards.
Yeah.
4 cards. And then she throws her 3 reds and takes more. And then that healing is actually super important.
Healing is very important. And she is such a target, which you can use to your advantage. And if you can keep her alive, then she's a serious problem.
Yeah, and that's the hard thing. She's not tanky. She's
not very tanky.
She is pretty easy to kill. So
and she's she's so targeted because it's like
you have to literally run her down and kill her.
You have to kill her
as fast as you can.
But that's also kind of a weak because Black Panther
if you can
relies
position
on her
well,
so much. Yeah.
If you can position well, if you can do a good map, position well, then I think you could set that up to where they have to be adjacent to Black Panther to kill her.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So there's ways to get her value even if not. Now
your opponent may overkill her too, which could be helpful. And like I said, she's baiting out feints, which gives Black Panther now more he can throw his Wakandas more freely and stuff like that.
And so I would take 2 cards at the top of your deck over 2 cards in your hand any day of the week. Because if I'm taking 2 cards off the top of your deck, you have had no chance, if I'm playing it right, to look at those cards and get rid of them. If they're in your hand, you've had a chance. And so the only card you should really lose from a scheme that's taking cards out of your hand would be
a bad one or
bad one or one that you just top decked, right? An
unless it's random.
deck,
Unless it's random.
right? But if I can take 4 cards off the top of your deck, boom, boom. You've never looked at those cards. You could have lost your best cards that you never had a chance to even look at. And that's awesome.
80% of the time, I agree with you. The other 20% is for fighters that are tempoing. They want to keep your hand low, like your actual hand low. They want to force you to play cards or maneuver to actually get to those cards.
Dijkstra
But
comparison, mostly.
Sure.
Because you're going to draw back, so it doesn't really mess your hand up.
The hand knowledge that Dijkstra provides is also really helpful. But I agree, like I said, 80% of the time I agree, but there are some times where I would rather you have less cards to play in your hand for like follow-up attacks or continued pressure than taking cards from your deck, which early game may not help me win.
I'm talking about if I want to get your best cards.
Overall value, though.
Best chance would be from your deck.
Better.
Because
sure.
if I know that you can take cards out of my hand, then I'm playing
You're
those
playing
cards
around that.
Exactly.
And sure.
When you play against Sherlock, you've got to...
You're throwing your stuff as soon as you get it.
As soon as you get that boost 4, you're throwing it immediately because you can't risk him looking at your hand, taking the card, and dealing you 4 damage. That's what I'm...
No, I agree. Like I said, I agree. But, yeah. So Shuri's going there. I can agree. I think I agree with you there because she is crucial. You have to kill her. You may not have to kill Charlie.
All right, we've got the wolves. Can you grab wolf? So there are 2 wolves. 2 wolves, and yeah, I haven't ranked them yet, so we can. I like that.
I think at least there.
I like that spot. So the wolves are good. You talk about wolves.
Better than Jabberwock, though?
I'll get in there next.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
Can Leshen win without the wolves?
No, that's the thing.
No chance.
No chance. They are crucial. I really like the way you use the wolves. They're crucial in setting up Leshen for his double attacks. And they can also pose a pretty good aggressive threat.
8 damage.
They can throw an 8 damage attack, which is pretty crazy.
And there's a number of faintless fighters in the game now.
Yep. And you can bring them back.
And you could not be throwing that too. You could be throwing something else. And you can block with it for 4.
Yeah.
If you ever need to, block with it for 4.
Almost, yeah, guaranteed.
As long as you position well.
Yeah.
And the opponent's not expecting that.
Yep.
Because you just let them die. And then I think the most important thing that the wolves bring is the heal.
They heal you.
The number of times I've healed from 1 health to 7 or something.
Like at least 2 or 3 times in a game, I have gotten Leshen down to 1 health against you, and then you will heal back up to 6, 7, 8, 9 health.
And it's
like, dude, are you kidding me?
You have to do it, and you can't do it without a wolf.
You lock it. You lock it down as the Leshen, and you make it impossible for them to get to you or do damage to you. And you can find a way to do it,
right?
And then the wolves, and then you have to kill the wolves. Now I have to throw something into a wolf that I didn't want to, and Leshen ends up not needing his 9. He only has 9 defenses.
But here's the deal: we got
interesting.
Here's the deal, though. This is not like we talked about earlier. This is not just who's most important to their fighter.
Yep. It's also what can they do, and
what can they do?
They they actually have a good number of playable cards. But some of them you don't want to play.
Yeah.
You can play Wilies. You can play the Planted Feet.
The 1 is the card I get rid of the most in most matchups, but it's still a really good card.
It can be helpful. That their Harrying Strike is very, very good. That's the purple 2.
Okay.
So those, and then you can throw Nature Calls or Nature something, Nature's Call or something. I think it's Nature's Call.
That 4.
There's the 4 discard, the red 4,
right?
And
you want to use that. You want to
use that as Leshen. You also have the draw cards. You can attack with them with a 2, and I think you draw cards with that.
Yeah, and then Leshen's cards that spawn them and move them, like that's important too. I think
they're better than the Riders.
Dude.
The riders can do some messed
They
up
attack
stuff.
and bring cards back. They position out. You can deal the 2 damage or 1 damage, I think, to every fighter, right? Because they would be there, so they wouldn't be dealing 2 damage. Because he's not enraged. I think that's how it works.
Yeah, and they can attack with the riders can do skirmishes.
I think this is fine. I think this is fine. I don't. Like, yes, if this was an importance tier, I'd move them up. Okay.
Yeah.
But looking at the value that they bring along
and
with,
they're also very important.
right? I think I like that.
I
I'm also like I'm tempted to go back like this, but but really those 2 schemes, she's got to stay there. Those 2 schemes
so
are so
important.
Good.
Yeah.
And we might do this at some point, and then bump, and then bump. I think this is gonna be very crowded.
Jabberwock's gonna be
crowded
Solo's gonna be such an unpopular opinion, but I'm kind of agreeing.
Once you start thinking through all the psychics, there's a lot of psychics, man. There's a lot.
He's good though, man. He can do a lot of damage. Like, he can do a good amount that it's difficult damage to deal with.
Did someone explain recursion to Uncle Mike? Uncle Mike, recursion is getting cards back. So playing cards that cycle, and you can keep bringing cards back in. There's a handful of fighters that have recursion. Not a handful. There's actually a lot now.
Getting any card from your discard and putting it back into your hand is recursion.
Yep.
Or back in your deck, or playing the same card over and over again is recursion.
Right. We have, and we're not even factoring in card art. That'd be a whole nother story. Guys, we have Murder Corn, aka yeah, right. Yeah, can we throw her? So this is an interesting one. This is a very interesting one because Ahuarahua is good, right? That red 4, move a bunch of spaces, deal a damage to somebody. That's a cool card. It's
a great
really
card.
Good. It's a boost 4. You kind
That's a
of
great
want to
card
just
to
throw
have.
that. And then she has her 3 thing that's like if you attack her. The thing is, she's blocking for 3, right? She's blocking for 3 if she's blocking, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't think she can block.
She can't do the 4, right? So she has to block for 3. So you can always attack her for 4.
And guarantee.
But she can
damage.
throw the feints, which is good.
She has parry is such a good card.
3 parries.
Yeah, which is it's that 3. It's basically just your imagination. It's a blue 3 that cancels off. It's a blue 3 feint, which is.
If Unicorn Ally was
unicorn only, then she'd be like
jumping way up. But it's an any. You can have your ally be dead and still use the help from your ally.
They did such a good job with the Witcher set with the sidekicks, making them good but not like
right
either busted or like absolutely necessary.
Because the heroes. So if you look at if we start looking at the Buffy set here like sidekicks. You could make cases that they're better than
the heroes.
Yeah,
almost. Weirdly enough.
Okay, and in some cases, and yeah, the Witcher sets are like, no, there's no question. These heroes are better.
One thing I have commented on before with Iwarakwa is that it's very hard to know what to do with her or him. Like, I don't know what it is, but
it's a unicorn.
So it's good enough that you might want to attack it.
Yeah.
It's tanky enough that you might not.
Right. Why waste any time with it?
And Ciri is weak enough early game potentially that you probably just want to attack her.
You want to just attack her, right?
But then
Akoroko just sits there.
So in a way, you're almost guaranteed to get really good Iwarakwa value.
Yeah.
Even though you can't block for more than 3, your opponent is now forced to. You probably still will defend Iwarakwa because 3 printed 4 red 4s with 1 auto damage, some solid body blocking, and just overall health. And I think you can heal with Unicorn Ally. I don't know why you would. I think you can heal Iwarakwa with Unicorn Ally.
Yeah, I think it says a fighter.
I think it does.
Probably, yeah. That's interesting. But yeah, I agree. I think that it's she it's hard to do. I'm gonna say she. I feel like it's a she. She offers an interesting choice for the opponent because you don't know what to do.
Siri recovers 2 health.
Okay, we take that back,
Not
guys.
as good.
Siri recovers 2 health. So or quad bottom tier. Okay. You don't know really what to do at fighting her, and I think that she's also important. Her cards are important, but she's not so important. You know, like I feel like that's what it is.
Like she's good enough that she provides like pretty much guaranteed value, and
the boosting from her cards is huge when you need to get that unicorn ally and keep it online. Right, I'm gonna boost and attack you. There's times when you got boost with that 4, and you can cover any map basically.
And she can give Siri breathing room.
Yeah.
Like to actually get cards online, can get Siri's source cards for her if she really needs to.
She's tankier than Wiggy. She can block for days. If you want to drop like the parries, if you're attacking, she's blocking for 3, like guaranteed. So you don't attack her.
It's you know what I'm thinking about now is she's guaranteed damage.
Right. Do we listen? Is this Witcher tier?
It might be. I honestly think because of her weird place that she lies, where like her stuff's good, but not good enough to like really warrant
The
like
focusing.
throwing. Yeah, it's really you can get a lot of value with her.
And because Ciri's weak early, you have to kill. You have to fight Ciri early, which is why you put the horse in front, and then they're having to run around. It's like a reverse Patroclus.
Reverse Patroclus, and those 4s are secretly so good because they're 3 4s with 4 boosts that are you're gonna feint it maybe to not take auto damage. Like you might really need to prevent that 1 auto damage through and the movement. So 2 damage from that case, or 1 or 2 guaranteed damage if you block with a 3 because you don't want to. Maybe you want to cancel a Siri card while you can.
Yeah.
So you don't feint the unicorn ally, in which case you block for 3, or you throw a skirmish or something into a unicorn, and that feels great.
And so I've used it other way. Like it's such a good card because I've used it before. Keep the unicorn online, or do something like that, and then get out of your zone because like I think it was maybe against Leshen or something. I didn't want to fight Leshen.
Yeah.
So I had to get out of the zone. And so you go in, you attack, you're out. And now you've got to come in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. It's a great.
The other thing that's cool is let me attack your 1 health sidekick, and then run over your other one.
Yeah.
And then leave. Pretty cool card. Pretty good.
She's slowly.
Is that?
I think she's actually really.
She's really
so
good.
funny. It's like she's just mid enough that she's like
better.
She gets a little bit of a
That's
boost.
interesting.
Yeah.
Right. The better you are, the worse you are because the more you're focused.
And the worse
you are, the better you are.
Because you can
nobody
get
cares
more
about
value.
you living.
Kind of. Yeah, exactly.
Whoa. All right.
We broke it.
Okay. Guys, that was fun. That got me excited.
Dude, Yennefer, top tier psychic.
This is Triss as a psychic. Show me Triss as a psychic. No, so we'll do both. We'll do.
Sure.
I guess we'll do both.
Actually, don't know where they are. Oh, there they are. Okay.
And yes, these sidekicks,
dude.
There's something different about these sidekicks. They hit different, right?
They really do.
Okay, I don't know. So this is the same kind of thing with the Buffy. You know how good that Buffy thing is, except Buffy's not very good, and the sidekicks aren't very good. And now
it's like you have another hero.
What if Xander could throw a 7 that makes you discard 2 cards?
Almost not makes you, but like really makes you want to. Because you're fainting, or you have to defend. It's so weird. Because what if it's not? Here's the thing with Yennefer. Yennefer is insane because what if it's not the 7?
What if it's not? Right.
And then you took so much damage.
And there's the Triss one for you guys to see that one as well.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're gonna do them both.
And then average it or something. I don't know, like.
Well, this similar kind of thing with the Xander one. So
sure.
And no matter how you slice it, I do believe that. Yeah.
They've got to be at least high.
So they're top tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who would you rather have as your sidekick? Like, don't think about the hero. I guess we have to think about the hero too. You either have Yennefer throwing 7s, right?
Yeah.
Or you have Triss throwing the red 4s that make you discard 4 cards off your deck.
take
Discard
3
2
damage.
cards or take 3 damage.
That card is so good.
That's crazy. And they both can throw the red ones that gain actions and move any fighter in any place a fighter in another space.
They can be very disruptive. They're good enough that you have to kill them.
Yeah, they can throw the red 3s.
And they can play every card in the deck.
Every card in the deck. You're right.
Other than the specific Yen attack and the specific Triss attack. Other than that, they can play every card in the deck.
Okay.
So if you're Triss, there's only 3 cards you cannot play.
And if you're Yen,
there's only 2 cards you cannot play. So lots of utility, healing. So you're only 6 health, but you can heal for 3 plus another potential 3. So you could actually almost play a 12 health Sidekick. Isn't that stupid?
That's stupid.
Because of the 3 defenses that heal you 1, and then your 3 schemes that heal you 1.
Right.
I think you have 3 of those.
You do.
So
I can't say you do 100% confidence.
I'm 99% sure. So you could play a 12 health Sidekick that you can attack with. I do think that Yen is actually the better Sidekick as well.
And they got card draw. There's because they can play all the cards. You can really do a lot to keep them alive. And they're ranged. They're both ranged.
They're both ranged.
That's huge.
They have card draw. Here's what I think is such a funny play, is that Yen as your Sidekick, you're attacking with Yen.
Yeah.
What do I think it is?
7.
But what if it's not?
Yeah.
What if it's your 3?
Right.
What if it's your 3 that makes you discard if you lose combat?
Right.
It's like Yen is almost better as a Sidekick because you think you're throwing a 7 because you have to play the 7 before she's dead. Mm-hmm. But you also could get a little fancy and sneaky with it.
Yeah, but let's not forget what Yen can do as a hero.
But also as a hero, she's an absolute hero.
You just do the same thing, but this time throw a 1. You took it because you think it's a 7, and then I boosted it with the 3, and then now you took 4 damage. Or I throw my 3, and then I boosted it with a 3, and now you took 6 damage because you thought it was my 7.
And then I put it back in my hand.
Yeah. So let's do that one.
Yeah, no, I agree. She's definitely better as a hero, but she's also a better Sidekick.
She's so good at sidekicking. Yeah.
But Triss ain't no slouch. That card is...
Double Crunch said, they're goated. Move on.
Yeah. Well
That's
said.
Fair. That's
well
fair.
said.
That's fair. This is in no particular order. But we're just keep going.
Just Witcher stuff.
So this was a tough one. He was a very tough one for me to rank.
Yeah, that's really tough, actually.
Dandelion. 5 measly health.
Very
Ranged.
few playable cards.
Only 6 playable cards. Max of a 3 value block. Or attack. But you're really just playing that 2 as much as you can.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. Because I can look at your hand, take a card out.
And then draw a card.
So
you really want to feint Dandelion, which means you're not feinting Geralt, which gives Geralt really good.
And don't sleep on the movement as well.
The movement is actually really good.
Movement is key. So
and 3 boosts, so it's
but there's only 5 health and 6
playable cards, which makes him very squishy. I'd almost put him either there or low mid. I'd probably actually do Dandelion low mid. Because it's so easy to kill him.
It is so easy to kill him.
And ultimately the impact that he has is he draws the fire away from Geralt a little bit, and he baits out feints.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
5 health.
He can do some cool stuff.
But that swing of momentum is huge.
The swing of momentum is really big, but also you're probably only getting 1 of those off.
I respect it, but I personally would do this.
You think he's better than Jabberwock?
Yeah, I think you're sleeping on. I think you're sipping the Kool-Aid on jabbies.
I don't think so. Jabberwock, you're at least guaranteed value.
I mean, so here's how I would do this.
Dandelion, you throw a shift
into a ranged fighter. Sure, put him down here. Into a melee fighter, put him up here, and don't let him get touched. Have Geralt protect him.
I still don't think he's better than Jabberwock, but I could see an argument for mid because of the value that he can bring.
Anytime you can look at someone's hand and take it out,
is very good.
and draw a card. And you can move, like, the movement's also
The movement is really good. The disruption.
Now, there's only 6 cards. Like, again, it's literally deck order, right? Deck order. So I guess, you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with it. I'm fine
Yeah.
with it. You know, people, someone's got to be there. Why not?
Why
the
not
Bard?
Dandelion? I just think because he's like so often, it's like they just go in and they attack with a shift, and you just don't have a card for Dandelion,
Right.
and he's just gone.
We just flip
One
these-
card.
flip these for these people every once in a while so that they can see what we got going on.
He flipped that one already.
Yeah, flip. Yeah, just every once in a while, just flip ones that have to be flipped.
Hey, you know what? We're gonna rotate this
Oh
rider
yeah,
out.
yeah. Rotate them out. It's a good.
It's
idea.
time for Gerald to get
Good
in.
idea. Gerald. All right.
No.
Ooh. Well.
Well, guys, this was not intentional.
Oh, Dijkstra. Yeah, I passed by three other cards. Dijkstra.
Dude, I'm putting him there, and I'll fight you.
I don't think I
I'll
have
fight.
him.
I'll fight you.
I do have him there.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Okay, so Dijkstra can play 11 cards from the deck. Can play 11 really good cards from the deck. Okay.
Play Do My Bidding.
It's two Do My Biddings?
Two Do My
Do My
Biddings.
Biddings, which is awesome. You have 2 4s,
Cunnings.
4 versatiles that if you don't discard a card, you're taking 2 damage. You have 3, what are those? The purple 2s.
Redanian Plot.
Redanian Plots. Discard or your value's gone. Awesome.
Yep.
2 schemes. Let me look at your hand, take 2 cards out.
And then force you to draw.
Sorry. Let me look at 4 cards from your hand.
Yep.
Which is crazy. To start, so going first as Philippa and using that scheme out of the gate is awesome because if you just mulliganed or kept or whatever, it doesn't matter. Because I get to look at 4 of your cards. Odds are I'm getting at least 1 good card. Because you've had no chance to play the cards, you've had no chance to protect them, nothing. Pretty awesome.
And it actually helps you even more because the 1 card that you're keeping, it's better than those 4. So it actually can give you a really good idea of what they have in their hand.
That's interesting, yeah.
Like, oh, you must have this because you kept these things.
Exactly.
Yeah, really, really interesting.
Remember you, I think it was on stream. I was Black Panther and you were her.
Yeah, it was.
I forgot what your card said. I thought it said discard 2 cards.
You kept, and I was like, okay, I wonder if he doesn't have the Shuri schemes.
Right. And I was thinking, I just choose 2 cards, and it was no. You look at, I have to give you 4 cards. I was like, oh my.
He lost both Shuri schemes.
Both Shuri schemes.
He had them both.
It was the worst.
I know.
And he can play Regicide, which is a 4 red that
Regicide's-
becomes a 6 if it's a hero.
If it's a hero. Which is even better than
Solid.
Jabberwock's card.
Yeah.
So, yeah, worth killing. Pretty hard to kill.
6 health, not a lot, but for all the reasons we just mentioned.
Fantastic
And
defenses.
Philippa
can defend him so well.
right, and has the card draw to protect as well. Like, there's a lot, and the opponent wants to go for Philippa because she has only 12 health as well. So it's like you want to go for her, but like there's always that choice of, oh, do I go for Dijkstra? I've already committed too much, so maybe I keep going, or I don't want to go for him, but then you're getting stuff taken out of your hands. He's very good.
Yeah, very strong. Yeah, only downside with him, I guess, is that you cannot feint, but I think being able to play Do My Bidding kind of makes up for that.
Any thoughts?
No, I think he's where he should be.
Yeah, just super good.
Just
super
really,
good.
really good.
All right, Dijkstra, step aside. There's a new sheriff in town, Spike and Drusilla. So
There's a new sheriff in town.
So here's the deal.
I can't remember. I don't know what she does.
I want you to place her, and then I will adjust it because it's interesting. You're like, what does she do? So Drusilla and Spike. She has.
I remember her being like, I want to put her there, just because I'm not sure. I want to say I remember her having some good cards, some like she can throw some potentially high attacks. I'll put her there.
Okay. So she can play 17 of the 30 cards.
That's pretty good.
Pretty good. She's got 7 health, melee. So Drusilla has a good amount of. First off, all the Buffy have all 3 feints, all 3 regroups.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just like standard. And then, so it's Faith, and we're looking at Drusilla. So she's a Spike. So she has. There's at least 2 cards. She's got the scheme. Oh my goodness, she's got those schemes that say.
Oh my goodness.
If you are adjacent to a thing, it's. Let me look at your hand. Take a card out. If you're adjacent.
Or on or fog token.
I get to take out 2 cards from your hand.
Right.
And I think there's 3 of those, at least 2, but there could be 3.
I think there's 2.
And then she has the versatile. It's like a 1, and it's like you blind boost
twice if you're on a fog token.
So it could be a 7.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Not a great fighter, but like not bad at all.
I think I'd do maybe that.
Okay. I don't hate it. I have her like this.
Okay, I was pretty close.
I have her like that. So, right, you were very close. You snacked it. And also, I could literally, I mean, this is totally fine. Like, yeah, sure.
They're pretty dang
close.
close.
Charlie is awesome.
Yeah.
And here's the problem.
I feel like Charlie's kit's more usable. That's the
exactly.
Only reason why. Yeah.
The same reason why no one's scared of Spike is the same reason why you don't really need to be scared of Drusilla. Because you have to be
shadow
on.
tokens.
Like, yeah. So her without the shadow, she's okay. With the shadow, if you're actually on
all
it,
of a
she's
sudden
really good.
Is like terrifying.
So I'm happy with that, and you could also, I mean,
she's
gonna
gonna Ober on
this
you.
too. That'd be totally fine too. Like Patrick Cliss is also a baller, but you know what? His is way more consistent.
It's also
for
usable. I think usability is a huge part of it.
For consistency, we'll do that.
We'll just.
You know what? Reverse unicorn here, and whoa, Drusilla just intercepted into the Witcher tier.
To me that feels more right. Just less usable because of the fog tokens
I'm
or
fine with that.
shadow tokens.
Let's see what people are saying here. Yeah. Dave Atkinson just got super excited because we just did Spike.
Because we did Spike and Drusilla.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, how do you feel about this? How do you feel about her being here? I feel like
that's pretty good.
I feel like that. Come on, I put her high mid. I feel like that says something, right? Because the classic move is like, oh, Spike. You know? No, listen.
Nah, she can do that.
Yeah. Spike would be there.
The stars kind of have to align.
Right. Okay, guys. The man, the
moment
myth,
has
the
come.
legend. Oh, I like that you get to prep. That's good. That's cool. The man, the myth, the legend. The one, the only. Dr. Ian Malcolm. So, he's a tough one. Because... Yeah. So now that my ranking doesn't even work, and actually my ranking would probably be different actually. Again, I wasn't factoring in how important they are to the person's kit, so I would change some things potentially. But on Drusilla, I think I'm fine though where she is. Dude.
She's not. I mean, she's pretty important.
She is really important to him. Yeah, literally without her, I don't think Spike can win. You need to get a pin.
Yep.
You have to get a pin.
And she's crucial getting a pin.
Ian Malcolm. I mean. So I think he's going to be very high because
I'm thinking there.
Just the first thing he does that's very important is he generates.
Off the top of my head. Insight,
and you have to have insight.
Yeah,
you got to have insight on the board. So as soon as he dies, she really slows down. She can't deal as much damage as often as she needs to, and he can block with close the doors. Okay, so he can deal a lot of damage and stay alive.
He can heal.
His heal is huge. The
Chaos Theory.
I don't know.
Or no. Life Finds a Way.
That's it. Life Finds a Way. His 2 copies of Life Finds a Way are so important, and they are awesome. Discard a top card of the opponent's deck.
Heal for the boost
heal
value.
for the boost value.
Both of your fighters heal for the boost
Both
value.
fighters.
So it's
right.
technically healing for double
So
the boost
you use
value.
if you use that right, then you just got a lot of healing.
You could potentially get 6 to 8 healing off of that card.
And took a card. So that's such an important card. And it does what she does so well. Like it just works so well with her Sattler's
and
stuff.
It will get a feint out.
Mm-hmm.
Almost guarantee will bait a feint out, which gives Sattler one of her 7s online probably.
Right. But without that card, he can be kind of easy to kill because you're not really blocking for. You're never blocking for more than 3.
Yeah.
You got a lot of 2s that you're blocking with.
But you also have so many. I think you do have so many defenses for Malcolm. Like you have a good number. I don't know the exact number of playable cards, but so many 2s and 3s and 7s, 7 health, and potential healing off that. So let's say you get 1 life finds a way off.
That's all. Yeah, you just
for 2 healing. Let's say you get 2 healing,
and you get the full 2 on each. Yeah.
And then let's say each attack is on average a 4, maybe a 5, and you're blocking for 2 each time. Mm-hmm. That's still 4 or 5 attacks that Malcolm's taking. That is giving you lots of value that your opponent has to spend 4 or 5 turns probably attacking Malcolm and chasing him down.
Right.
Meanwhile, he's generating insight. He's healing Sattler. Sattler's body blocking him.
Yeah.
And
no, I think it's great.
Good.
I like him there. All right. So some very, very important, arguably the most important sidekicks.
I think they probably are.
We have the honor guards.
Oda literally can't do anything.
He can't. He needs them.
He absolutely needs them.
And they need him.
They do.
They need that +1 on everything.
Yep.
First, guys, these I just want to.
They're the best
because they feel so good. Okay. Just put a pair of these in your socks when you sleep. Okay. I'm not gonna talk about that.
I'm gonna make that into a short.
They'll be like, why does he do? Does he do that? Like, what else does he put in his socks? No, I don't do that, but maybe I do. I don't know. Never heard of it. Whatever. Okay, ready? You got blue, you got red. There's 2 of them. You got 2 of them. They do everything. I initially had them like kind of low. Like I was like, but then I was like, oh, but they got the sun and the moon. I think that's the one that ignores the value of the opponent's defense. You've got the 4 that becomes a 5, right? That's a 2 that becomes a 3. You got the 4 that becomes a 5 that cancels. It's an offensive feint and a movement.
Yeah.
You've got
3 of those. You've got 3 fire and flames, which are 6s. You've got everything. I mean, everything's +1.
Yeah.
You could throw momentous shifts if you're feeling, sprightly. I don't know.
I feel like they gotta go there.
You've got auto damage. You can swap in with Oda. They can be healed. I think they're the best. Like they're so good.
Yeah. And they're so important.
They're so crucial.
And they're so good.
They are literally his win condition.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
yeah, they are what happens when you create. Like that was their attempt to. What if the sidekicks are the most important
actually
thing?
the hero?
Right.
Yes.
That was their attempt at that, and it's cool. It's fun.
They function as such a unit, which is really cool. You need to protect them more than Oda.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough.
Their downside, no feints.
No feints.
Feintless is huge, and then just the amount of defense they can actually block. Like they cannot, unless you're wasting a momentous, block for 4.
Right.
So, like at best, they're blocking for 3.
The best thing that they can do is a pseudo block for 4 with a shift, sort of. So they can do that with, or they can do that. It's a 1.
The heal.
Patience and
3.
Or
it was a 2 and the heal for 2.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's sort of a 4,
right.
But you also have to not die.
And you got to be flanking them.
The big thing with them is positioning. And so usability with them also is a factor.
Yeah.
But it's really tough.
I mean, I think
the amount of damage they can do is insane.
Right. We're not talking. It's hard to ignore how good the fighters are, right? Like, Yennefer is obviously better than in
and they have to. Here's the thing: they have to be good. If Black Panther wins the game by like throwing all his Wakanda Forevers into them,
Right.
Opposing hero must throw their big attacks into the sidekick.
Yeah.
Which is, they have to be good. They have to be the best. I think
They are. They have to be.
If you have to do that in order to beat them,
Right.
Tomoe has to throw her 7s into them, and if she wants to win, I think.
And she loses to Oda because
because
of all of her hero specific stuff. I like it. I like them being there. All right. One of the OG. No.
Oh, whoops.
One of the OG.
That's not coming next.
OG greats, guys. We've got the 9 health Huntsman ranged, but why would you? No. Too squishy. Too easy to kill.
He's got to be up here, though.
No.
Dude.
No. He's around this. Either there or there.
You don't think he's better than Shuri?
No.
I put him there.
He's
3 6s, random discard, 6 potential auto damage, card draw,
and the
healing for red.
He's so easy to kill. I guess it's the same kind of thing with Shuri.
He's so crucial to kill, though. Like, if you don't kill him,
you gotta kill him.
And red can block him a lot of time, like can really protect him a lot of times.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree. Still, I'll take the recursion and everything that the actors can do.
I think I agree.
And he's ranged, but he's never going to do it. He's never going to.
No, he'll never be ranged.
He is just basically a melee fighter that has the opportunity to range if you somehow positioned weird or something, like maybe you're on Solomon's Mine or something, right? Like, but you don't want to attack from range. You want to be melee.
Probably not. Yeah.
And you want to
9 helps a lot.
If you can gain actions against him, he's in trouble. Or if you're adjacent to him, as soon as he throws a 6, he's in trouble because, okay, cool. So I'm attacking you. You got knives up. So you're either like if I have 2 big attacks, it's easy. If I've got 1, it's tough. Okay, is he gonna block for big the first one? Probably, right? So he's
probably gonna throw stones.
You throw your stones the first one. Block for 4, whatever. Okay, but then your next one, guess what? Now you don't have. Now you're blocking for 2.
Now you're blocking for probably 2. Yeah.
It's guaranteed 2. You can't be higher. So you're blocking for 2, and then now I'm hitting you. Now he has 9 health, so he is tanky. But as soon as the opportunity of stones goes away,
now it's a serious problem.
Yeah, and he becomes as squishy as Shuri, a little squishier actually.
Yeah.
But he can do that big block that first one. So yeah, I like him being there.
And his attacks and auto damage that he can deal are a great mix-up that you're gonna have to deal with. Like, he can throw Once Upon a Time, and it's such an easy thing to forget.
Which one's Once Upon a Time?
It's 3 auto damage after combat. It's a purple 2.
Right. Yeah. So when you think that you're getting Jaws, also, not Jaws. Yeah, Jaws. Jaws. My brain's just shut off.
Which thing? Axed?
No, the one you play right after your
stones.
Stones, thank you. If you think you're getting stones, and you throw that 2,
then it's 3 damage back. Yeah. If your huntsman's dying no matter what, then deal some damage back and
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then also the healing, like he's very important to Red.
Yeah.
You have to protect him. You want to body block with her, keep him alive. A little reverse Patroclus, classic, and then you get that healing off for 4 up to 8 up to more if you cycled it.
If you do crazy things, but probably no more than
solid.
4 to 8.
Very solid. One of the OGs.
Mm-hmm.
I do find it just feels so much easier to kill him lately.
Yeah, there's a lot more ways to do that.
It just feels easy
because of a lot of action gain, a lot of disruption.
Action gain, big effects and stuff. You're not really playing your feints with him. Can you?
You can't feint with him.
You can't feint with him. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
So he is, and she can feint. Okay.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth.
Yeah.
He and Shuri are pretty equivalent in terms of how important they are.
Huntsman looks like LeBron, and you can never unsee that. It's true.
Yep.
It's so true.
In the community, we refer to him
as LeBron.
Primarily as LeBron.
Sisters. So we've got Dracula. We have left-facing sister. You have center-facing sister, and you have right-facing sister. And I forget whose favorites are what, but my favorite, I believe, is center. I don't really have a favorite, but I do believe I always go to the center one because I can't decide between these two. That's fine. You know, we got center-facing sister. I don't have them very high. Here, we can keep doing this way. Actually, this is kind of neat. You place it, and then I move it around. That way we get your thoughts as well.
Okay. I think I would probably put them here. I know that's crazy. That might be a little crazy. I think I'd put them there.
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
Maybe lower, but yeah.
I mean, like compare these two, even.
Yeah, it's around there somewhere. I could see low mid.
I think low mid's pretty
because of their potential. Like, the opponent still has to get through them. You can bring them back, so you have 5 of them. The auto damage they can do.
The auto damage is the only thing
that they do.
And pinning.
And
right?
pinning.
If you can pin and then auto damage, moving them to get Dracula is important. Like moving the opponent to get Dracula ping
and a pass.
You know, that is important. They are very important, actually. Yeah. The more I talk about it.
You can get 9 auto damage with the sisters. And then block 5 attacks.
But you don't get 9 auto damage.
No, you don't. But you can.
But I would say the number you shoot for is 6. Okay?
Yep.
3 with that first one, 2 with the next one, 1 with the last one. That's usually how it goes, I would say. But there is a world where you could get 6 with that first go. Bop, bop.
Yep.
You know.
But it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely. But yeah, and then if you can pin, I think pinning is the most important thing for them. Is getting and then the occasional time when you decide to defend them when the opponent doesn't expect it.
They can ambush also.
They can also ambush, which is interesting.
It's a pretty good card.
That's interesting. And the opponent's not going to defend it. They're not going to feint it because you have to feint.
You have to feint beasts.
Beast form. That's also interesting. Cool. I like it. I still think they go there.
I agree. Around there.
I think that's a good spot. I don't. Nothing really to
auto damage and pass. Yeah, 3 passes is pretty good that they give you.
This is a tough one. This is a tough one.
Yeah, because this is hard.
Bess. I mean, it's tough because compared to Houdini, with Houdini, she feels kind of useless, and you don't really care about her. But until
she's like insanely good.
She could throw so many things. 4 flourishes, and she can play them.
She can attack for 6 3 times, potentially 7. She can gain actions. She can swap with Houdini.
Swapping is huge. She only has 5 health,
but
she can also play the thing to come back to life. Like she can play that.
She could come back to life.
I think one of the things that like detracts from her.
She can attack with the freaking 1.
She can do the 1s, and she can do the
sleight of hand. She can slide, which is the 1. Yeah.
And she can she can also play the from an X trick.
Yeah, that's on the action game.
And Houdini can play from an X trick and move
Bess.
her, and she can play from an X trick and move Houdini. Pretty sure.
Yep.
She can do a lot of stuff. It's just like the thing is, you just don't usually use her for that. You know, usually you're just using Houdini for all that stuff. And so, how good is she? She's very good. She can play a lot of stuff. In the kit with him, she's not really needed very much. But I do think that she's still very good.
I do think the best Houdini players can really abuse Bess. Or like, they really use Bess to like the best.
Right.
To the maximum.
You want to get off your swaps, I think specifically. Like if
yes.
You gotta get your swaps off.
And it's really interesting with Bess. I would say like a good number, like a solid 30% of games, maybe 40% of games, somebody will go in and they'll attack Bess maybe like first turn, and then they'll kill her in 1 hit. And his Houdini, you're kind of like, all right, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, that's fine.
That's fine.
And then, but if they don't, then you're just kind of like, okay, cool, I get to use Bess now.
Yeah.
And I get to attack with... And I get to force the opponent to eventually deal with her. So I will say, like, you will probably have to address her at some point.
Yes, double. There is one specific matchup where she shines,
which is Tomoe.
Yes.
And she ruins Tomoe.
Because she just literally becomes Houdini, and Houdini's like walking away. Houdini becomes Bess, and then Bess is just coming at Tomoe, and Tomoe's like, I can't do anything to stop this.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Oh, and she can't even 7 Bess because Bess will swap into Houdini.
Right, yeah.
Or will boost.
Yeah.
No, you can't boost her defense.
You can't boost her defense, but yeah, and then...
She could come back to life, though.
She can come back to life.
She throws her 7.
You could play the 2 into it and just come back to life if you wanted to.
Immediately.
Yeah.
You come back to life at 4 life. Yeah.
There's a lot of...
That's
and
very
cool.
cool.
And she can't be fainted, so...
Yeah.
So you throw your 1 every single time.
Yeah. That's pretty
It's a nightmare. But because that is one matchup. I think I'm good with her here or here.
I'd put her above Unicorn.
Or here.
Well, let's put her above Drusilla because very usable kit. Just can be kind of like swingy in terms of how good she actually is.
I like it.
But I'd put her there. Yeah.
All right. The Porter. Double Crunch. His favorite. He actually did say the Porter was in his top 3. Which is interesting. It only makes sense because he plays Sinbad all the time. I don't know if anybody else would say Porter's top 3.
This is interesting.
Like, look at the top 3. Come on.
Yeah, jeez. Porter's actually pretty good.
He's pretty good. Yeah, and I remember. I mean, I've played. I don't know.
Very usable. Very tanky if you want him to be.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, dude. Think about what he does.
Okay, yeah, I'm thinking about it. Red 3, draw 2.
Yep.
Okay.
Which gets Sinbad. Sinbad's whole goal is to draw through his whole deck as fast as possible.
Yeah, you want to build up, sure.
So you can do that. You can also throw commanding. You can throw momentous.
You don't want to throw commanding as the Porter, but you could.
You could. You can throw shifts. 3 shifts.
Yeah, and you end up doing that a lot.
You got 2 leapaways.
Yeah, but you know there's some
3 leapaways.
You want to play this on defense, but you could. You could be sneaky.
No, 2 leapaways, 2 exploits.
You know what? I'm okay with it because why? What's Porter's movement speed?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Whatever Sinbad.
Right?
That's the thing. He can become a move 6 or move 7 guy who can throw cards that draw you cards. He's an extra body to get the pin to force to just start. I think he's good.
Yeah, he's very important. Yeah. You know what? I'm fine with it. I like it. Good job. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Right, Double said, Porter can move 9 spaces and smack for 4s. It's true. It's a true story.
He can also smack for 5s after moving 9 spaces.
Let's save this one. Yeah, we'll save that one.
What?
Ooh. Merlin.
Ooh.
Merlin Boberlin. So this is interesting because for a long time he was the best sidekick in the game.
Yeah. And now he's not.
No, he's not. I would say he's not.
He can still do some stuff.
Yep. Hello, everybody watching.
He's invincible.
Hope you're having fun.
he is more durable than Arthur. And Arthur has 18 health and can recover a good portion of the back. But Merlin, I don't think you can kill Merlin.
I don't think you can't.
You literally can't.
You can't.
He says no. He's better than Arthur. We've talked about every time we play Arthur, we're like, Merlin's better than Arthur.
But if even just being better than Arthur doesn't make you
good,
a very good sidekick or a very great. Like, he's got a lot he can do. He's very important. He is super important to King Arthur's win
condition.
Right.
Yeah.
And he can do some cool stuff, right? Is it Command the Storms?
Command the Storms.
He can do 2 of those.
Pretty cool.
He can do the damage, the
fireball
zone
thing or whatever.
He can, I believe, his is the search for the lady. No, is that King Arthur's?
I think that's King Arthur's.
Okay.
But he can also do other. He can do other stuff.
2 zeros on defense.
That's why he's unkillable. One of the reasons why he's unkillable. And then other than that, he can attack for shifts.
He can throw shifts,
skirmishes.
right from range. He's range. 7 health, pretty tanky. And then King Arthur, is 18 health, and there's a pretty tanky squad in general.
Overall.
Where do you think they're going? Drop them. Drop them like it's hot. I haven't ranked him yet, so I will.
Yeah, I
have not decided.
I'd actually I'd probably put him. Is this crazy?
We don't play King Arthur enough for me to say that's crazy. Or to say it's right. I don't play him enough.
I've actually...
Can you guys let me know where do you think Merlin goes? Because as we're saying, this is a tough one. We don't play King Arthur.
He can throw regroups, guys.
Correct. He can throw, which you really, I think, want to do that with King Arthur, but. Are you looking at like playable cards and stuff?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I definitely. I mean, but Patty, right?
Patty the Batty.
Patty the Batty. Patty the Batty, dude.
That's weird. That's weird.
But Merlin, dude, Merlin Derlin, you know, Merlin Berlin. Yeah, I think that is a good spot. I like that spot.
That's it. That's everything. Okay, so he's got 3 momentous shifts, 2 bewilderments like Wukong.
Yeah.
3 feints. The Chosen One, which is a 4 value attack that if you won the combat, you draw 2 cards.
How many of those? 2?
Just 1, which is weird. He's got a Prophesy, like the sisters, so he can organize his deck and draw cards.
Right.
Lots of card draw with Merlin. He can Command the Storms, move each fighter up to 3 spaces.
Yep.
He can choose any space in Merlin's zone, deal 2 damage to each fighter in that space and 1 adjacent space. If at least 1 fighter is defeated this way, draw a card. 3 skirmishes.
Boom shakalaka.
3
The way that we play, we would not do it like that. Now, what we would do is, I don't like changing fighters. I don't like changing the decks to make fighters like more playable. What I would do is just change the format that you're playing. So if you're playing with a low tier fighter, play against other low tier fighters. That's what I would do. Also, there are matchups where you can actually win with, like you could set him into Faintless. That's a way you could actually have a chance. He could beat Yenenga, right? Like, but I would just change the format. So I would try Underdog. I would do 50-50. I would do Unmatched. I would just do a batter ladder. Look at our rankings and then just take the bottom 15 fighters and play with those or something like that. Bottom 10. You know, if you do that, I think then you can have really fun matchups with him. I would not bring him into top tier fighters that have feints. That's not going to be very. That's not going to be. I don't think you could win it really, but there's a world. There's a world where it happens.
There's definitely a world.
But I don't. We don't change fighters though. Just what we don't. Just what we do. I think that's good. You like him there? Where you put him?
Yeah.
I don't want to put him any higher. I would feel weird about that, but
you'd feel weird about putting him higher than Charlie. I'd actually almost put him higher than Charlie after looking at what he can do.
Because of all the different things
he's got 18 playable cards.
Here's the deal.
And disruption.
What he can do is very inconsistent.
Okay.
Charlie is very consistent.
Okay, yeah.
There's no 1 copy cards for Charlie.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of 1 copy cards.
Just 1.
No, they're like multiple.
Oh, no. You're right. 3.
Okay.
3
and those are important cards, I'd say, I think.
Some 2 copy
And then,
cards.
like, sure, he's got regroups. Charlie doesn't have regroups. Why? Because he's got swaps. He's got the 4s that heal. And I think those are also and then he can throw 2s. He can throw the 3 that puts a 5. Charlie is really good. He might need to go higher. But we'll keep him there for now.
I think that feels right.
Yeah,
maybe
I would still do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, he can't recur.
The double attacks are. You don't really want to throw the double attack at Pat, but
you don't.
You could.
A little sandwich.
There's a little mix-up.
That's fine. Well, you know what, guys? In honor of Arthur being bad, we will put Merlin higher.
I do. Yeah, Merlin is better than Arthur.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, the Juicy Outlaws. I'm telling you, dude. Like this is There are just so many good sidekicks. I mean, it's not crazy.
Dude, it's not crazy.
That's not crazy.
I think, yeah. No? Like...
That's not crazy. Like, they can't recur, but they don't need to.
No, they don't. You don't care about it.
But also, I mean, I would take them over them. All right, outlaws. They can bounce. That's huge. You attack, you can bounce.
That's crazy.
You can't. Well, the same thing for no. They can't.
They can cancel on offense and ignore your value. Every single attack is a highway robbery.
Right.
So you throw wilies with them.
Right. The mind games
sneak
are crazy.
4 through, and like you have to defend every attack that they do because obviously you're gonna be throwing wilies on offense and stuff like that, or snarks or something on offense.
Exactly. And ambushes.
Ambushes, like you have to be defending, you have to be feinting the outlaws, and then you're guaranteeing damage somewhere else.
Right.
With them, the bounce too is like.
It's really huge.
The best ranged ability probably in the game. What do you think? Like, do you think it's... I don't know.
Bounce to best range ability? No, I mean, Yennefer's ability is like the best in the game. Immediately, you can boost it if you want to. Like, I think that's crazy.
Like, Yennefer has to maneuver in an attack and then is vulnerable to attack. Robin Hood will never be attacked. Will probably never be attacked first action.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to be. If he wants to be, he can be. So you, as Robin Hood, you get to decide.
Right.
You get to decide.
I mean, it's really
where it's happening.
Super solid. I don't know.
I just, it's so unique too. Like the Outlaws have this ability too. The only other person that I can think of that does that is Titanian Oberon sometimes.
Guys, where are you guys at? Where are you guys at with the Huntsman? Are you putting them top tier? Do you put them better than the actors, or are they high tier?
They might not be better than... They're probably close to the actors. I just think there's 6 of them.
Yeah, but there's like 100 actors.
Realistically, how many actors are you getting? Realistically.
At least 6. At least 6.
You only have 2 once more into the breaches.
Uh-huh.
You're saying you're going to get one of those off for sure?
2 of them off. I mean...
So 5 actors?
You get 5 at least, but I mean, if you're not... When I would play it to get them back, or I'm trying to like kill you before they all come back. And I think you're getting actors back, unless you already lost the game.
That is a really good one to prioritize.
And there's not 6 there are 6, there's 4 of them, and then you bring 2 back.
Starting with 4 sidekicks on the board is crazy.
Yeah.
And the fact that they can pressure the opponent so much. They provide so much defense for Robin Hood. They're very similar to the actors, honestly.
Skull Scarf said that, and I agree. I just need to hear one more person say it.
I respect it. I get it. I'm a little high on the Outlaws, but I'm also a huge Robin fan.
Yeah.
But like, just the amount of games that the Outlaws have won,
dude, the Outlaws are insane.
They're so good.
And if we're talking about like, yeah, Outlaws are insane. If we're talking about like this the sidekick hero, like
the game winning potential of Outlaws is so high because of highway robbery.
Right. Yeah, I think all right. Oh wait, we didn't. That was not correct. That's okay. All right, next up. Not Cloak and Dagger. Not Spoderman. Wong. Interesting. Wong. Health dial?
Oh yeah, whoops.
Health dial me.
Very cool looking health dial.
Wong, ranged, okay. He has value. 6 health. When he's adjacent to him,
he can make some...
It makes a 2 of 4. When he's adjacent to the defender, he can deal a ping damage and draw a card. And And you don't really want to play cards as Wong because you can't use the ability from Doctor Strange.
But
you can heal.
You can heal
your,
with Wong, and you can heal Wong himself.
Yeah.
So he can actually be pretty tanky. What I think is what makes him better than I think is because it's very, very hard to play cards into Wong.
Yeah.
You feel like you're just wasting because Doctor Strange is about to run you over.
Right.
So
because of how good Doctor Strange is. Right. I don't
Wong
think
will get value.
Yeah, that's a weird one because the hero is so good that the sidekick has to be left. If Wong is on a different character's deck, I think that changes how valuable he is. Like he's better, which means you're killing him more easily.
What's so funny is he's really not that valuable. Ultimately, he only adds just a little bit more lethality to Doctor Strange's kit and like defense,
and a little bit of body blocking,
a little bit more defense.
Yeah,
but a good amount more. He's not. Doctor Strange does not need him to win, like at all, really. So
place
that in my mind that actually makes that's a 0.4 and against. It means you're probably gonna get full Wong value. I'd almost be tempted to put him like no.
Yeah,
that's a little too good.
So here's my thoughts on Wong is that
I'd do that.
I don't hate that. Actually, I would.
I thought about it.
That's tough. He does add. That's tough. Yeah.
The thing is with Dandelion, you're really not guaranteed value.
That's pretty good actually. That's a good spot.
Wong, you're guaranteed value, in my opinion.
With Wong, it's one of those situations where like every card you play as Wong is a good day for the opponent.
Yes.
So I actually want Wong to be alive as the opponent as much as possible, as long as possible, and just keep playing cards because then Doctor Strange just cannot
you're not
play those
playing
cards.
it again.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point.
It's like fighting Elektra. Sure. You know what? I love it. Drop him a 2, but don't change the order. Love it. Yeah. That's perfect. Okay.
Because of that, you're so right. That is how you beat Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Just
weirdly enough.
Yeah. Play your feints, says Wong. Do it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh. The Daisy.
Oh my.
Daisy tank herself.
Is it my? Do I just place it?
Place it where you want. And I'll give my thoughts. So guys, so Daisy.
She might.
Is a 6 health. Melee. And Daisy
is invincible.
It's invincible.
you 6 health. You're like, oh, lots of sidekicks have 6 health.
Right.
But not like this.
Yeah. So
that's where I would put her. Personally.
Importance to her kit, to Jill's, very important.
Yep.
Right. You wanna get both of them off.
Mm-hmm.
Helpful
assistant.
You want to get both the schemes off.
Scheme?
Get 6 cards back in the deck. It's great. You do draw, but it's really good. It's very important for her winning. Daisy is super tanky. She can play her 2 5s that are purple. Draw a card. She can play the 4 purples. She can play the 3s that change that don't let the value change. She has the 2 worst cards are the 2 Daisy cards that are 1 value boost, but they can still let her
block or attack for 3.
And if she's next to Jill and is attacking,
the ability.
Right, she can throw the 5 action game, and she can throw the 1.
Yeah.
Caught red-handed.
The caught red-handed.
Now.
And she can block. She can do the 5 value defense that is the block all damage.
And unlike a lot of these fighters that we've talked about, where it's like, but you would never play these cards. There's a lot of cases where you do play the
where
cards.
You do play him as Daisy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she is the front line. She's up there, especially once, and then she's body blocking.
She's right there.
If you get the schemes off, it is so hard to kill her. Same kind of thing with like the whole Deidre deal, where it's like it's so hard to kill her. You want to kill her. You need to kill her. But if you try to and you fail, you've wasted too much time already. You know, you attack her like 3 attacks. She's like, well, I just now what do I do? And then she gets her schemes off. And then she's just coming at you, and you don't want her to live, but she's already played her schemes, so you have to like kill her. It's bad. It's a bad time. Now
she has 6 unique cards. 8 unique cards?
4, 5, 6.
6 unique cards.
6. Two fives, 2 schemes, and
2
then
purples.
2 threes.
Yeah.
They're all and 4 purples. All 4 of those are purples. Now the question though, is she better than Yen Triss combo that can switch whenever they want?
She's definitely tougher.
She's definitely tougher, but she's not dealing as much damage. Is she more important for the win con?
For
She's
Jill's
more
win
important
con?
for Jill's win con.
Yeah, 100%. I think so.
Yeah. Is the option to switch? Does that make them better, or is not really because you're just gonna go?
You're only gonna play Yen
Yennefer.
anyways.
Yeah.
So
I like where she's at.
I think so too, because in reality, Triss is probably your sidekick, and so really what we're doing is ranking Triss against Daisy, and Triss has only 2 cards that you're ever really gonna attack with. Ultimately, that's the thing. Is like as Triss, you're only attacking with those 2 4s, and then you're body blocking. Yennefer as a sidekick is really where it's scary.
Daisy has 21
playable cards, which is crazy, very high.
That's a huge number,
and they're all good value. Every single one except for those 2 3s.
Yen Triss have 28, 27 playable cards.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like, can that be ignored? That can't be ignored. 20. That is
Triss by herself still might be better than Daisy.
So many playable cards. When you can draw a card and know that you can play it for your sidekick, that's a huge thing. Yeah.
Here's why.
Okay, go.
She has more playable cards.
And this is both, by the way. This is both. Oh, you're saying this is the one that's going to be there, so that's what let's talk about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think regardless, but either way, we're talking about them as a sidekick. Right. I don't know. I feel more pressure to kill Daisy, I think, than the sidekick of Yennefer Triss.
Okay.
I feel more pressure as the opponent to get Daisy out.
Yes, but it's harder. But that same kind of logic we've used multiple times for like both coins, right? Both sides, which is okay. So there's more pressure so you leave her alive, and then she's getting her 4 reds off.
Who? Triss?
Triss
only has 2 reds.
Her 4.
Oh, the 4 value reds.
Yeah.
We just feint those. You whenever Triss attacks, you feint it. And it's 2 damage. Sure, it's 4 guaranteed damage from Triss.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's the thing, is like Triss, in terms of the threat that she is.
Right, because Yennefer is doing what Yennefer does.
Triss is not the threat.
Is not the problem.
She has those 2 cards, which are very much a threat, but they're also.
But you don't want to attack with her unless it's those cards, because you want to throw it with Yennefer.
Every single other thing you want to attack with is
Yennefer. And so because of that, it is like, this is the red 4, so yeah.
I think it's close.
If we're just saying it's just Triss, as we're talking about, like, we should move her down even. Like, if that's what we're talking about, like, is there a world where you do switch it and play as Triss and go Yennefer sidekick?
We've talked about this.
I know.
No.
I don't think
it's not really worth it.
It's not worth it. And so, but then if you do though, right?
Then if
you just go for the scheme, we need to play Triss more, because if you just go for the scheme damage, right? You just gonna get 10 damage. Play on a Marvel map, maybe you get 12. Okay.
That's a lot of damage.
And that's not including the other damage you could get
from Yennefer
and Triss. From the cards. If you get rid of a 1 value boost card, then you're gonna deal more.
Yep.
And then you throw your 7s as Yennefer, and you're dealing.
You're at least
taking away 6 cards.
They're they're getting rid of their value game is really where they're sneakily good. It's not necessarily damage.
Dude, what if Triss is the play? That's fun. I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
What if? What if? All right. Let's. Do we leave it there? Do we leave that there? Do we put them back? What do we do?
I don't think that. I agree on the principle that Dijkstra is more crucial, and as a sidekick makes more sense, whereas Triss just kind of feels like she's just good. She's really good. She's got lots of playable cards. She's got some, but in terms of the overall threat that she poses,
It's really 2 cards, and if you feint it when Triss attacks, then
Right. I like it. I like where we're at. All right. Jackalope.
dude,
Dude.
talk about an absolute stud.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's a stud.
I love.
And you're getting better and better when you play him. Every time you play him, you're getting better at Bigfoot. Because we don't play Bigfoot a lot, but each time he is more of a problem. The more you use Jackalope, the better your game is, which is that's a scary thing, you know. Jackalope's a scary.
He's so scary,
guy.
dude.
He's a scary guy.
Because
What do you place him?
dude, yes, yep. That's really interesting. Robin Hood, Bigfoot, Sidekicks. Very, very good.
Mm-hmm. How many playable cards?
A lot. A lot.
So
of playable
Bigfoot
cards.
has the logs,
The
crash,
savageries and the crashes.
savageries.
I think everything else, Jack.
Everything else is.
So it's
Can Imaginations Bigfoots? Those are
they're
ennies, right?
innies.
Yeah. So that would be 1, 2.
He's got
3, 4,
22
5,
playable cards.
6, 7, 8. 22 playable cards. Yeah.
Very high, and they're all high value, other than feint and regroup. But everything else is like 4 value block, 4 value attack,
Yep.
5 value attack,
And
6 auto damage.
and scheme momentous
Very strong play.
or scheme 4 or scheme walk away like.
Here's
or
what,
scheme.
What makes him so good is he's so hard to kill. Just generally very good defense all the way around.
Mm-hmm.
He enables Bigfoot to play this weird game that Bigfoot sits back, draws with his ability, and Jackalope just goes crazy.
Right.
And like you can play a pretty serious game with just that strategy against a good number of people.
It's worked a lot lately.
It works. And
Jackalope is a 4-letter word in my household. That's what Alien said.
And just I love the game that he plays. He's the in and out. Mm-hmm. As a melee fighter, that's just a really underrated.
Simple. It's very simple.
Simple, underrated.
Right.
And once again, just like that, giving Bigfoot his ability to Bigfoot sits back and can draw if he needs to, and just fuel Jackalope's like rampage.
Mm-hmm.
And force the opponent to say, all right, if I really want to kill Jackalope, I'm gonna have to be throwing 5s and 6s into Jackalope, and I will probably never be able to double attack him because he's either moving on defense, or I have to move into him, and then you're playing the game that Bigfoot wants to play, which is kite you and hit you and kite, and then you back off, and
so where?
That's really tough. I think I would put him.
Ooh.
I think I'd do that.
Whoa.
Because.
Okay.
I do think he's pretty essential to Bigfoot.
Yeah. Well.
But losing Jackalope is also not the end of the world.
Exactly.
Who would you rather have as your sidekick? This is a fun game. Who would you rather have as your sidekick? Jackalope or Triss?
Like thinking about I would rather have the actors than Jackalope.
You like multi-sidekick.
Multi-sidekick.
Multi-sidekick is very good.
Recursion.
Then Triss probably needs to go down.
Yeah, I mean, now as we talk about
realistically, what's happening is
if you're playing as Yennefer, how she's being used, then she's not, and she's strong, but she's not.
You're not going to be abusing the other person with Triss.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate truth.
But the option to choose is cool.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't like this is an actual choice.
Right.
This is not an actual
There's not
real
actually a choice.
You're just going to play as Yennefer if it's allowed. So I think I don't know if I don't like Jackie. I don't not like him up there, but I don't love him up there.
He's just good.
Like Outlaws or Jackalope.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
You know, Huntsman or Jackalope.
I would still rather have Jackalope over
think
Huntsman.
For
definitely.
me, how important he is, everything considered. Oh man, like
he's pretty important. Those Jackalope horns are very strong cards.
How many playable cards we said? 22?
22 playable cards.
22 playable cards.
Makes him a very consistent, reliable sidekick.
Yeah, and he's got 6 health
and
a lot of 4 blocks.
Every time you attack with him, you're probably doing at least 1 damage or 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point. Oh boy, I feel like, dude, where is she going? She doesn't do much if we're just like looking at her just her red 4s. You know, it's predictable, like you said.
But she's also
still ranged.
She's still ranged. She can still set up stuff with Yennefer with those.
And those red 4s are still either 2 damage or
the red ones
or hugely,
very hugely, yeah.
Yeah, so the fact that you know I'm playing the red 4 means I can play something else, and
you could do some weird stuff with it.
This is tough. I gotta pull a trigger. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, it was so interesting because she can do her potential. It's risky to be attacking with other stuff if you know they're fainting. I'd probably do.
I think maybe that is fine.
Yeah,
and I'll do that.
She's just a hero. She is a hero.
Because she's not being attacked, she's gonna live longer than Shuri. Even though Shuri's is like it's a scheme, so it's like gonna happen as long as she stays alive, right? All right, I like it. And Jackalope being there, I'll allow it for now. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Jackie's hard. He's hard.
He's tough. Because the multi-sidekick aspect
super
of everything.
Vanilla, but strong. Very strong.
Very strong. Just consistently good.
All right. InGen. So we got 3 of them. Oh, we should have had the different ones too. That's fine.
Are they all different?
It's fine. Yeah, they are, but it's okay. So we've got InGen. InGen's great. InGen range. You got 3 of them. You can have 9 of them, which is huge. And they can attack and move and move you. They can go all day. They can throw second shots. They can throw regroups.
We're gonna have to start shifting some of these down.
They're very important to the kid. Well, we might just be building out, you know. I think doing the tiers is actually fine.
I just think the standard is gonna have to be higher.
I agree. I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're very important actually here.
They are incredibly important. Muldoon dies without them.
Right. And what they can do is super important as well. Dude, I'm thinking here, somewhere here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking the fact that there's so many of them and they're all ranged and they have like a lot of playable cards.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to defend them. You can't defend them.
You really can't.
But you have your 3s, so you can throw those occasionally. And because of the 3, you have to kind of attack for 4.
I'd probably put them above. They're so crucial, but they're not really they're not really a huge threat. They're just a problem.
Right. They're like ants.
And Pat is a threat.
Right.
I'd put them above Bess.
In high mid?
Yeah.
You know what? Heck yeah.
Because we got a lot of actually.
Yeah, no, I like it.
1, 2
like
similar kind of. They would play a similar role.
I really like that. High mid is good.
Not really a threat, but a serious problem.
Right.
Because you're gonna have to weed through probably 6 to 9.
Love it. Great job. fast one. Let's rock.
Dude.
Triss could drop to high mid, and I'd be okay with it. Yeah.
I could see that as well.
You know what? Listen.
Yeah, because better than engine workers? Better than Bess? She's not better than Bess. The more I think about it,
But that it's just it's really it comes down to like how bad is that red for? You just fainted.
Yeah, and it's 2 damage. And that's twice?
But she's got a lot of defense, and she can be chosen. She can be a different thing, and she's. See, Yennefer. Are we not factoring Yennefer?
Oh yeah, we're not factoring in Yennefer.
We're not.
Like we should a little bit. Like 5% for the 5% of people out there that
will play Triss.
That will play Triss.
If you play, yes, Yennefer is solid. Yennefer is like way up there, but you also probably lose in the game. But
I don't know. Triss ain't that bad.
But
she's not
Triss,
great though.
Yeah, Triss could be down here. You know?
I would probably put her above. I'd put her above Porter. Nope.
No. Not even above Unicorn.
Not above Unicorn.
Above Unicorn. The Witchers stay together. Okay, they keep together. They keep close.
They like to
body warmth.
I do think she's got a little bit more going on than Unicorn. That is the thing, because she's not really a threat. She will be left alive.
Yeah,
probably.
There. Orders restored. Maybe we made a grave error.
I don't know. I think that to me that the more I think about it, it's so funny that she is below Drusilla. She's better than Drusilla.
So ninjas.
How did Drusilla get all the way up here?
How she super important, really good cards.
Realistically, though, pie in the sky. What's happening?
Well, she can take the card out no matter what.
She can take one card out.
And she's like 17 playable cards.
Okay, yeah, I like it there. Yeah,
the number of playable cards is crazy.
It's definitely that's a factor. And she can pin. Yeah, she's crucial.
She needs a pin.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, we're not talking about her anymore. We're talking about the ninjas.
The hand. The hand.
The hand.
So, not good.
Well,
except
until they are.
There's 100 of them, and
there's 12 of them.
If they surround you, and you don't have a wily, and you don't have a feint, you're dead.
Then you're dead.
You just
died.
4 attacks. So, yeah. How do you rank that?
It's so weird.
And they come back to life. They come back to life to make more. There could be 12, I believe.
There's 12, or there could be 12
if played perfectly. 12. The hand.
Dude, how do you... I do think that
12 of them, dude.
They're the best value fighter in the game, like, weirdly enough.
100 of them. And they can swap.
Think about that. That's 12 health that Electra has in addition to the 16 that she already has. Probably more.
You're right, that's if they're attacking with only regroups.
If they're only attacking with 1 value attacks, that's just 12 health that Electra has.
So let's say they're attacking with
But let's
threes.
say you don't let's say you don't get the hand revival 2 times.
I like the way you're looking at that, right? Let's say they're attacking all the ninjas.
Because
and they're attacking all the ninjas with a 3. That's a good average.
Let's say you only get 8. Let's say
that's 30.
Let's say you never get Hands of Red off with Electra, which you will.
Weird.
Let's say you never get Hands of Red off, and so you
only 8.
Only 8. That's still 8 extra health that Electra has.
8 times 3, because they're attacking for 3s at least.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, because you're attacking.
You're not attacking ninjas with only 1s. You're attacking them with 3 value attacks, and so
probably 3 value attacks. So it's really
you're blocking
the value.
You're blocking 24 health.
They're probably
ninjas. They're huge.
They're probably like.
And without the ninjas, Electra probably would just lose.
Yeah, I think that.
Whoa! Don't disrespect the samurai.
The game winning
disrespected the samurai.
Think about it.
I would rather have
I
would rather have 8 ninjas than 2. It is really interesting because their health totals are equivalent, but in reality they're not.
But they really can't play cards and stuff. Like if we're talking about like strength, like sure, value is huge, and they can have 100 of them.
Ninjutsu and the fist is all
That's
you
it,
need.
right?
You just want them to be attacked. If you attack a hand,
Correct.
I win.
Correct. But I don't want to reward Elektra just because she's so busted by saying, oh, you know what, her sidekicks are the best. They're not the
They're
best.
not the best.
These are the best sidekicks. Okay? The problem is these sidekicks came with a character that's busted.
And all they exist,
They exist as just meat.
So their combo potential is I understand what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
In their kit, they are the best in the game.
Correct.
But I think as far as like as a standalone,
I'm fine keeping them up here because of what other things we've talked about.
The value
but I cannot
that
reward them to put them up. In fact, for everybody not watching, if someone just is going to screenshot this, I want to put them down here. So like, oh, let's not play Elektra ever. You know, I want to teach that lesson. Let's not teach them, hey, they're the best,
dude.
But I do like
a similar thing for Muldoon, though. If you think about it.
So here's a question. Ready?
Yeah.
If a sidekick was literally, it was called, if it was just
extra
called
health.
Yes, meat. Just meat. Okay, it's called meat. It has no cards, but you get 12 pieces of meat to put on the board around your hero. Where would that meat hero rank? Where the meat sidekick rank? You know, where's this pile of meat ranking? Because there's 12 of them.
It's pretty high.
I can move them in the meat. I can move the meat to make you not get to me. You got to throw 12 cards away.
Yeah, and that's position that you're taking up.
Yeah.
That's doors that you're blocking.
Like
channels that you're blocking.
where would we rank that meat? And then let's come back to the ninjas, because like, how good is that? Are 12 pieces of meat?
They got to be at least better than the actors.
High mid. Why? 12 pieces of meat would be better than the actors?
Because those 12 pieces of meat can also kill you in one turn.
I know, but we were going to talk about that later. I wanted to just rank the pieces of meat.
Just rank pieces of meat,
and then we will factor in.
Just ranking pieces of meat, they're at least high mid, because of how.
So you would be happy putting 12 pieces of meat in high mid as a sidekick, like because of what they do, right?
Because of the value that is just impossible to ignore. From a competitive standpoint, 12 pieces of meat that do nothing.
Okay.
Imagine, like, for a moment, if you will.
It's just sad. It's just sad.
Imagine if if you couldn't move through the squirrels, think about how busted Squirrel Girl would be. Not how busted, but just like,
right.
If you couldn't move through the squirrels.
Oh yeah, if they weren't small fighters, it'd be so good.
You take up the entire board.
Mm-hmm.
You're just crowding, which would be actually really cool.
It
would
so
ruin the game.
Annoying.
It would ruin the game. Genuinely ruin the game.
You'd have to go first. You just pin her, and then this would be so weird. That'd be awful. Don't give them ideas. All right.
I do think you have to do that because of what they just ruin. They are what make Elektra so.
Yeah.
Such
I mean, you could
problem.
literally have them at the very top of the. You could have them as the best, and it'd be like, yeah, I mean, sure.
You know, it'd be really funny to do as a test. Let's do it for science at some point.
Okay.
We play Elektra, but without the hand, and see what happens.
That's a cool idea.
Because I still think she'd be not bad.
No, I think you get murdered. Depends on the map, but and the fighter.
But I agree. I think you.
But that is interesting, and I want to run that. I also want to run it like, okay, we're gonna play like 3 games, and the goal is get as many hand as you can each game. Your goal is to get all 12.
I think if you do, like that's such a good.
If that's your goal, I think you could pull it off.
To be defensive, yeah.
And we go against like a hard counter, and we go against someone that she counters, and then someone that's just mid. Well, someone she counters obviously is gonna get it. All right.
Anyways, sorry. Cool. Yeah, I do think you just have to do
good
that.
Combo, good combo.
So
I appreciate it. All right, Harpies. Hey, I looked over at the number of people watching. I was like, okay, it's gonna be 2. Usually after like a long rant like that, we got 15. Everyone stayed.
Wow, dude.
Guys,
yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Sorry for listening to us talk about Elektra.
Thanks for hanging out with that. Oh, cool. CityRunner said, very good idea for a stream. I'm thinking it's talking about the one we just mentioned. The
Elektra thing.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
But usually the chat's not that quick, so we're running well today, I guess. That's cool. All right. Harpies. So there's 3 of them. 1 health. Melee.
Can bring 2 of them back.
Bring 2 of them back. Move 3.
They can make you discard cards,
Yeah.
which is your
Move
chosen card.
3 on this is also really huge.
Really
Move 3,
big.
3 range. It's really huge, but it's fine. It's fine.
2 4-value attacks that move your harpies.
Or defenses, but yeah, usually
Or
attacks.
defenses, but usually
and then,
attacks.
And then your 3
Clutching
discards,
Claws.
clutching, which is huge in the kit because it's just more cards that they're losing.
Yeah, just adding really good value.
Making them
3
to come in even
2-for-1s.
more.
Yeah, 3 2-for-1s that you're probably attacking with, and then you defend with nothing.
Mhm.
And then you just get really good value out of them. And body block for Medusa.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. They're pretty up there, I would
Pretty
say.
good.
I'd probably put them high mid. Just because you kind of know what they're going to do.
I agree. Actually, you know what? No, I wouldn't.
Maybe high.
No, I'm going mid. I'm going mid.
Why? You think the Wolves are better?
I think Xander and I think they're better. Xander and Giles is probably better.
Why?
First, if you have the choice of the one or the other,
Okay.
and the pin that they offer for Buffy is way more important. Medusa could win the game without the Harpies. She loves the Harpies, but she could totally win without the Harpies.
Probably. She might be able to.
Her ability is what makes her, right? And then
The Harpies just add so much.
the Harpies add a lot. And they're also really important for the pin to get her
her ability.
not really important. A lot of times it can help a lot to get that ability off.
And your opponent's probably going to have to go through them.
Yeah, you know
Which
what?
was-
I would do that probably. I put them right there. I don't like them. I want the wolves more than her. I want everybody up here. I want more than those harpies.
Yeah, I think their cards in the kit are better than they are just by themselves.
And I'd be fine swapping those two. But I think that's good. I think they're useful. They're a very useful group of
You know what's really interesting is like
winged creatures.
I think though there's definitely an argument to be made that they could be up there because of the kit that they're in. Move 3.
It's just so I think because of the way that they're played in every game of like every Medusa game is the exact same. You're just doing the same stuff, and they're just
You have a lot of playable cards.
You're never scared of the harpies.
You actually have a lot of playable cards as the Harpies though.
You have a lot of playable cards, but you're not playing. You gotta keep Medusa's defenses. You gotta keep the 3s higher for defense. You're
Sure.
not. You could throw a regroup with them, but
It's kind of weird.
yeah, exactly. All right,
Beta Feint out, I guess maybe. I don't know.
Faith. Well, but then you're throwing the regroup as Medusa.
Yeah, right.
All right, Faith. Faith, 8 health, tanky.
Some big
She
attacks.
has
5 5s.
she has a handful of 5s. I think there's 2 5s that let her move like 5 spaces or something.
Yeah, something crazy.
She has 3 Gaze of Stones basically, but by adjacency. So just play a scheme, deal 2 damage to someone adjacent.
Okay, not Gaze of Stone.
Glances.
Glances. Yeah.
So she can deal 2 damage to adjacent fighters. There's 3 of them. Classic 3 regroups, 3 feints. 19 playable cards in the deck. Melee. And she gets the ability, which is if you attack and you lost combat, then you draw a card. So she gets off. Now, is that good for her? Who knows? Like, it's weird, right? But
like around here, maybe.
yeah, that's where I have her.
I think a bit better than Drusilla, maybe.
I have her right above Drusilla, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just pretty solid.
Faith is
pretty
just
solid.
good.
Pretty
Just
solid
good.
fighter. And she's so beefy and stuff, like you don't really, you want to kill her, but she's got a lot.
It's also like kind of discouraging, yeah, to just attack her. And
She has some other cards that are really good. I don't remember what they do, but there are also some really good cards in there. But it's all right. She's got a handful of stuff. Really good stuff. But we don't know much about her, so there you go. You're welcome for being ranked that highly. All right, fighter that we do know about, Maria Hill. Where does Marija... Ave Marija... Where does she go? She's good.
She's very good.
So we got another range. Range 6.
I feel like somewhere around
She can
here.
swap.
She can be revived.
Her 4 versatiles, the 3 of them,
Recur.
are super important.
Crucial.
Recursion, bringing back missions, which is super important to the whole kit and its movement.
Faint
through.
Faint bait.
Faint baits as well.
With your
she's
thing?
so good that they save the faints for her. Usually.
Mm-hmm.
And then swap. I think it said the swap.
Just very good value with Maria overall. I forget what the one value attack is called.
Yeah, it's like fake out or gotcha.
Fake out is what it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a little lower. I think, maybe I'd rather have Maria than Malcolm, probably. Malcolm adds a lot to the kit.
She adds later. Malcolm adds the whole time.
She adds the whole time. What are you talking about?
You're not. I mean,
well,
you're targeting online.
You're targeting Maria.
Yeah, and you can swap. Swaps, you know what?
Swap in three swaps.
Having a swap is
3 swaps is a lot.
Fighters with swaps are really, really good. Pat is getting disrespected down there with his swap.
But I guess he does have 3 swaps, but also you're not gonna play all of them. Probably just gonna use maybe 1 or 2, because he's dead otherwise.
I like that. I don't hate it.
I think that, to me, that makes sense. Also because you really want to kill Maria. It keeps Black Widow alive. And and she's really not 6 health. She's probably more like 9.
Oh, the zeros.
Yeah.
Dude, the zeros.
She
forgot about the zeros.
She might be below.
Forgot about the zeros.
She's probably below the Outlaws.
Yeah.
She's just really good.
She's really good.
Excellent value fighter.
Would you take the Outlaws or Maria?
I would probably rather have the Outlaws. I'd rather have 6 little guys that can throw unblockable attacks, essentially. That cancel effects on defense.
Right.
That cancel defensive effects.
Yeah, I like that. That's great. Beautiful. All right. Ooh, Obi.
Oh.
Oberon.
Sexy Oberon.
Oberon. Hello. Hello.
Oh my.
Oberon.
He's beautiful.
So Oberon is.
He's
good.
He's a beefcake.
He's a beefcake. Where do you want to put him?
Oh my goodness.
Where does Oberon
Well,
go?
we saw what Oberon can do last stream. That was cool.
Dude, that was such a
That was
fun
awesome.
game. That was such
awesome.
a good game.
3 of the best attacks in the game.
19 playable cards.
Lots of playable cards. That
Including the 3 schemes that are those ones. The 3 schemes, not the 2. The heal movement cards.
Yeah, because you can heal Oberon with those.
All right.
So
it's kind of weird. I'm just it's kind of like 16 cards, but it is technically.
Yeah, it's interesting. You could give Oberon the same amount of health as Titania.
Right.
You could have 220. You could have 2 12 health fighters over the course of a game.
Yeah.
So
3 red 5s that move you.
Which are insanely good.
3 purple 4s that move you.
3 purple 3s that can be 5s that keep him alive.
Right.
Or that deal more damage.
Yep.
Auto damage.
You can play the feints as long as your glamour's up.
Yep. Auto damage with Parting Gift. Also,
look in your hand and take out a card, put it in your deck, which is super huge. If we're talking about importance of, if you want to do your combo, your scheme combo, that is crucial. He is essential.
The other really cool thing, he's got to be very high because no other sidekick other than the Outlaws, I think, share an ability with the hero. Daisy a couple times.
They do.
Okay, yeah,
All
they
their cards, all
they
their
sort of
cards
do.
work. Deestra does if you're looking like that. Jackal benefits off of the. I'm not sure what you mean by share ability. Like
I mean,
because,
like you
get to do what the hero gets to do.
Well, he also does not take damage from auto. He also gets the benefit of the Glamour of Sleep.
Right.
The passive special ability.
And there's a swap.
You've got swap.
Right.
You've got move through fighters, which he can also do.
Right.
You've got all that jazz. So
all that jazz.
I'd put him pretty high.
Yeah, put him there. Let's see what that feels like.
You think so?
Put him there and see what it feels like.
I don't hate that.
That feels pretty good.
Because he's so tough, and it's such a challenge to know, playing against Titania, whether or not you kill Oberon.
Yeah.
I think you do. I think you have to.
3 5s, and you walk away. You know?
You teleport across the map.
And you get to... Yeah, he just goes right... And, like, if they faint it, that's 3 damage.
If they faint it, that's 3 damage. And
then you try to kill him, and he's gonna be
and then
alive.
he just disappears.
Yeah, he's gonna play my 4.
He swaps with Titania.
It's great. He's really good.
He's great.
Now...
He's just solid.
Yeah, I think it's solid. I like that. I like it.
Meh? Meh?
Hey, I don't hate it. I honestly, like, legitimately, I would do...
Yeah.
I'd do that.
I also don't hate that either.
Yeah, that feels right.
I would still put Jackal up above the hand.
Okay.
Because he's such a threat.
Hey, I hate the hand, so...
Oberon, though, is such a threat. Like, you...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's difficult to deal with. He's very difficult to deal with. You leave him alive, and Titania gets a bunch of healing. You kill him, and Titania heals him, and then you will never kill him.
Misty Knight.
Very good.
Yeah, another very... Like, dude, ranged commandings can swap. Swap is a big theme here with the top...
It's very good. It's excellent value.
So swapping
survivability.
5
Daughter of the Dragon.
So like you can, when you're adjacent, you can throw the commanding, and they think it's a daughter, and it's
they faint it,
boom, and then they attack you, and you block with the daughter. Like, get wrecked.
She can still standing.
She can stand.
She can trash talk.
She can ranged attack recursion.
Yeah.
She can trash talk. Yeah, she's got a lot of playable cards.
She can push back. Also very good. Underrated card.
Right. Yeah. Move. Yeah, there's so much movement you can in the range. Range is huge in this with them. She's a huge problem.
She's very good. As a standalone, she's pretty solid, but then you partner her with Luke Cage.
Right.
That's
right.
She becomes a serious problem. As a standalone, I'm tempted to put her like around here. I mean, I do feel like around here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you. I actually would put her. So I would put her above Jack. No, but she's
I don't
not
think
taking
I would
enough.
put
Not
Jack
taking
up.
enough. And
Maria is.
how about that?
I don't hate that.
Okay.
Misty Knight she's just very good. The commanding.
Yeah.
It just does. The range commanding is so good. And still standing.
Recursion.
What's crazy is, like, you may at some point want to feint a Misty Knight ranged attack.
Yeah.
And take 2 or 3 damage over the top. You may have to, because you're like, I'm sure this is still standing.
Yeah.
But, like, it might be just pushback, or it might be a commanding.
Right. Yeah. The once you start, like, I think range is just huge too. Range really gives you a lot of boost. Like,
max value block also, like, against Misty Knight feels bad, because you're like, okay, I'm max value blocking a Misty Knight thing, but then, like, Luke is gonna come in and ruin my life.
And then the
swap.
The swap is good because it turns
She's
a 1 into
very
a 3.
survivable.
Yeah.
And it puts Luke probably next to the person or within striking distance.
Now she does not get the ability.
No. So her overall defensive values are not great. Other than Daughter of the Dragon.
Right, she's blocking for 2 most of the time.
Blocking for 2 most of the time.
Well, I guess not most of the time, but it's like. But she's
really,
ranged, and so
really
she's behind
is.
Luke. Luke's in front of her.
She's probably behind Luke. That's how you set it up.
Yeah.
But if you can get to her, like say you're fighting another ranged fighter.
Well, she probably has her defenses that she's just saved. Because she's only attacking with
And against a
commanding...
ranged fighter, like you're probably not dealing with crazy values. You're probably dealing with 3s or 4s.
Right. Who cares?
Maybe 5s. In which case you're trash talking them probably down to a 3.
Yeah, I think that's good. I like where she's at.
I think she's very good.
Archers. So we've got Yanenga has 2 archers. Can you imagine the stream without the card being there? This would be ridiculous. I'm so glad that.
yeah.
I think it was CityRunner that recommended that. We talked about doing it beforehand, guys. We're like, we can't go through all the cards, but this totally works.
Guys, we
very
got some
fine.
bangers coming up.
Yeah, there are some bangers coming up.
Not many.
So archers, we have 2 health. The first one that was swappable, like you could flip it, right? So you if you take a damage, you go down like that to the other one. Really cool. The other thing was the Yanenga's ability, right? And when she takes damage, she gets to disperse it.
Yeah, divvy it up.
That's huge. Archers can play the action gains.
Skirmish.
They can play skirmishes. They can play the discard.
And
movement.
Pin the prey.
Pin the prey.
Great card.
Shifts.
Very good.
They can play the ranged. Is that it?
I think so. They add a lot of health.
With the healing card, you get them down to 1, then you play the heal. You get back up to 2. Like, they're just really tanky, and they're really important for Yanenga, and they're ranged.
The fact that you can decide who's taking damage a lot of the time makes them it's like a pseudo swap almost, where Yanenga can sort of swap into her sidekicks whenever.
Right.
Or swap in a certain amount. She can swap in a certain amount of damage and like assign the damage to them.
It's very controlled usually.
Very controlled. And
the 2 that becomes a 4. I don't know if you mentioned that one.
Oh, right.
We also have that one. So if they're in a different zone.
I can't remember the name of it.
And all of Yanenga's cards need to be fainted. So like they don't want to faint
These archer cards.
It's a tough problem to be in.
It's interesting when an archer is attacking, you're so less likely to faint, but you can get an archer revive off with an archer.
Right. Or action game combo. So where do you put them?
I'd put them up there. I think like their versatility. I'd probably put them high mid.
I like it.
Although they are very important to Yanenga's kit, they are her ability.
Right. Yeah, they're really good. Actually, really good.
I'd probably go high.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're putting a lot in high, but a lot of sidekicks are pretty important.
Yeah.
I would put them above Patroclus at least.
Right, and
above Merlin. Around Charlie.
Right around Charlie, exactly.
Feels right. Just because of their weapons that they can do, they have so many weapons.
And they can choose, right.
They actually...
Charlie is more predictable. I think Archer's... Okay. Whoa. No, keep going. Continue.
I mean, I'm thinking... Yeah?
Because of how good they are, like this is
what they provide.
You know, this kind of feels similar-ish to the hand problem, which is...
They're really not...
She's just really good. Yanenga's really good and super versatile, and her archers are... and they feed her.
They're built into her kit
These
so
are the
well.
meat. These are her meat.
Yeah. but they complement her so well. They're truly
They do.
good sidekicks.
They do, and it's not like
And you cannot cancel their ability. The way you deal with the archers is you have to kill them.
I think that's
You have to just deal damage to them.
That's pretty good. I like where you have them. That's a good spot. Good spot. All right, guys, we're getting down to it. We have the final 3.
It's such an interesting lopsided tier list.
Final 3. Dude, as we looked at it, I was like, man, there's a lot of really.
There's a lot of really good.
If we have to shift down for
sidekicks.
you guys, we could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might break it up a little bit just to make it a little more distinguished.
More easy to.
But here we go. We've got Dr. Watson. Dr. Watson.
It's so.
I mean, Sherlock is Sherlock, you know. Watson is Watson. He's got 2 5s. He can heal. Can't block for much.
Can't cancel his cards.
And they can just at any time they can just. They're not swapping, but they're basically swapping.
Well,
right?
they're working
They
together.
just walk around and then they're like, oh, now you go. Okay.
Pretty much,
You know?
they're just kind of doing that game.
Just change. There's
So tanky.
yeah.
Well, not so tanky, but tanky enough.
8 health is like right, and he's got I think 4 heal. Is it 4 heal or is it, it's 4 heal for Sherlock?
2 heal for
And
Watson.
2 heal for Watson. I
So
think.
it's really 10 potentially that you can't cancel as long as they're adjacent.
Got some card draw, some utility. Look at the hand.
Potentially, yeah. He's got those ranged 5s. He's ranged.
He's ranged. Yeah,
It's just good value.
Pretty good sidekick. Yeah, where do you think?
I'd do high mid probably. Just like he's just solid.
Right.
Sherlock doesn't really need him, but he is also pretty important to Sherlock's game. Like Sherlock's going to defend him a good amount. He's worth killing, I think. I don't know if he's worth killing.
You kind of have to, you know.
Yeah, eventually you're going to have to. That's the thing. Eventually you're going to have to. So you might as well try to run him down until he gets more value.
Porter or Watson.
I'd rather have Porter personally, but
If Sherlock doesn't have Watson, Sherlock is not as busted as he is.
I agree. But
Right.
that's
Like
an
that-
interesting
like that.
thing.
It's like instead. So this is this is what it is, right? Porter is the offensive. Like they're the same. They're the exact same spot, but offensive and then defensive.
Yeah.
Like he's needed to protect, and then he's gonna get you cards and just run them down.
I'm
But-
gonna
but I like
yeah.
the same- and
I'm
then
gonna say
melee
that Watson is actually more important probably than Porter to Sherlock's game because Sherlock has so many non-playable defenses in his deck
Right. Yeah. You just drew 2 schemes, but good thing you have Watson there to
to take
take
some
an attack.
damage.
Right. Bess or Watson?
In terms of importance, Watson's more important, I think, because of like what we just said. But in terms of
Better cards to play.
better cards,
She can play a lot
Bess
more
can
better
do it.
cards.
They're
He's
around
got 8
there.
health, range. She's melee, but he's not doing much with that range. Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Happy with it. Dave the Hutt said one of my least favorite sidekicks, but probably just because he's with Sherlock.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right, guys, down to our final 2. We're gonna do Tara or Tara. I don't know.
I think it's Tara. I don't know.
Tara.
But I would think Tara.
All right, Tara, range. She's ranged.
She can do. She has recursion, right?
Yeah, 2/4 versatiles.
You can also revive
If you
her.
won combat, then you can pick a card from your discard pile and revive it, or and pull it.
You can also revive her.
You can revive her, bring her back to life.
She's very
5
tanky.
feints.
Right, 5
I think
feints.
2 of them are 3 value.
Yeah. Very tanky. I'm gonna just sit in front of Willow, take damage, make
Please
Willow.
kill me, exactly. and
Make
then-
Willow Dark Willow.
And then I'll well,
Yeah.
yeah. and
If
then-
either Willow or Tara take damage, Willow becomes Dark Willow.
Right.
So, and then you bring her back. And so she's really more like 12 health sidekick. that can recur, can feint. In terms of offensive capabilities, not a whole lot that I am aware of. I guess she has that. It's a 4, isn't it? A 4 that's the recursion.
It is 4. It's a 4-value
4-value versatile. That's pretty good.
Really
that's like
good.
Maria Hill level.
Better than.
You have to win to get it. You have to
Right.
win combat.
Not better than Maria Hill, but it's better than Misty Knights.
Yeah, because it's a versatile.
You can block with it, and then you're good. It's better than the act. Well, not actors, because actors just happen. But yeah, I think she's very solid.
I think I kind of agree. For defensive sidekick, very good defensively.
Right, and then I would, for what she brings to. We haven't played her enough. I think that there's a world where you could really get that recursion going.
Yeah.
A lot. And bring her back multiple times.
Is it a chosen card?
You choose it. You look at your discard and you choose a card to put back into your deck.
Dude, against the genie, you can't attack for higher than 4.
All right, you just block with it.
You can't defend for higher than 4.
Yeah.
I guess you could feint
You
it.
throw that literally every single. You could feint it if genie attacks on offense. That's what.
I guess if Genie feints it, but then
16 playable cards for Terra.
it's not amazing.
No.
It's not terrible.
Right.
Hard to say. Hard to say. The potential's there, for sure.
Yeah, I think that honestly, like legitimately, I'm doing that. Or higher, probably. I think she's definitely better than this in terms of 5 feints, recursion. That's
And
nice.
lots of healing by means of
right, coming back to life.
Coming
exactly.
back to life.
So 9, really 12 health, but that's even more. Like.
But in terms of actual
range, you're in range.
Yeah, but in terms of that's all purely defensive stuff. So let's ignore Terra. Let's think if we can get to Willow.
Don't let her do it. Don't let anybody do that.
Don't let anybody do that. Just always put Terra up there.
Right. If we're just assuming.
I just think that if you can get around Terra. So it's kind of map dependent, a little bit, positioning dependent.
Yeah. Basketball. We're talking basketball in the library.
Against the melee. Then she's
against anybody.
Then she's busted.
Yeah. Against melee, right?
But I think that I don't think she has many offensive weapons.
Yeah, I don't know what her cards
at all.
I think she's got their attacks. Whatever those
I'd rather have the actors than Terra. Because of that, because of the one-sidedness of her usefulness, kind of like Watson, Watson's.
And there's 100 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the actors, you can at least get the line effects that are uncancelable. You bring them back. You have similar recursion capability with the actors. And the revive thing too, I think, is a little gimmicky too. That this is obviously provided that you didn't just run Willow down and kill her and are able to appropriately body block with Terra and defend Terra well, because I don't think Willow actually has that many playable defenses. So those 3 feints, those 3 of those 5 feints, you're probably saving for Willow.
Hear me out. Ready? This is what we're doing. We're gonna start shifting. This feels right.
Yep. I'm agreeing.
This feels right.
I agree.
Maybe that. Maybe a real nice. Actually, wait. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is too pretty.
No, I agree with this because Pat is really. I do think he's kind of high mid.
Too pretty. And then just craziness up here.
Unless
6, 7, 8. Is that? No, we're gonna have too many. But We're so close. We're so close. This is beautiful.
This is so stupid.
This is so good. This is so good.
Do you think actors are top?
We'll have to make this look pretty, yeah?
You simply must. You simply must. Well, we're gonna have to make room for another top tier. Here, in a second.
I know. I know. I like Tara. I think I like her right there. And actually, I really do like her. Like, you don't. What are you talking about, man? Get out of here. You think? Get out of here. What are you talking about? She would smoke the Outlaws any day of the week.
No.
Smoke them.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Look what you.
I'd rather have 6 outlaws that can ruin most people. Guaranteed 8 damage, probably more. Probably more like guaranteed 10 damage with the outlaws.
Yeah, you're so right.
And you're gonna have to kill 6 of them, probably.
You're so right. I was really trying. I thought Tara was really gonna be up there, but.
Let me go to Unmatched Club.
Right. You're right. Were you looking at how many playable cards?
Yeah, truly, like, what can Willow do?
Guys, this is a hard one. This is a hard one. But it's gotta be right. We gotta get this right.
Okay, so what can Willow actually do? Willow or Tara? Tara can throw a rending shot from range. So she got 2 rending shots. She can do, I think, 2 swift strikes. So 2. She's got 4 3-value attacks that do little movement things. She does have the Knowledge of the Craft, which is the very good card. If you won the combat, choose a card in your discard, add it to your hand, and it's the 4 versatile. She has 2 3-value feints, essentially. And then 2 hackers. Look at the top card of your deck. It's a 2-value. 3 regroups, 3 feints. So in terms of overall defenses, her only good ones are Revoke, 3 feints, Knowledge of the Craft. So she's got some solid defenses. And then in terms of offense, she's just got some little peppery. She can pepper you with some stuff like some rending shots, some swift strikes. Willow's really the one who's going to be doing more damage from range. Regroup. And then just she's going to be body blocking. So she's going to be very, very tanky defensive sidekick. But
yeah,
other than that, very little offensive capability.
I mean, I don't hate it.
I don't
I like it.
either.
You could do that. That's fine. But it'd be like I just like the recursion for me, for the 2 4s being brought back to life. A lot of really cool stuff there.
Yeah, and really what you're going to do is you're probably going to force them to either attack Tara with a 5 or higher.
Yeah.
Or attack with a feint, and that feels bad.
And for those who have been mathing, this is our last one. And it is Wukong. Wukong. Where does Wukong go? How many playable cards?
All of them.
All of them. It's a clone. All playable cards. So what does that mean he can throw?
The only thing that you maybe don't want to throw as a clone is a Sly Monkey, but you could still attack with it.
Right.
It's like just a nice little...
Or block with it, if you wanted to. If you really wanted to.
But like,
don't
just
do
don't
that.
get the value.
Don't ever block that, actually.
Don't ever do
really
that.
Bad. No one's attacking with a feint until a clone.
What can they do? They can bing bong you.
You can bing bong. You can...
You can
7.
Ox form.
You can Infinity Strikes.
You can recur the Ox form.
You could decide to block a clone.
For whatever reason.
For whatever you want. Like,
you can
the world
block,
is your oyster.
You could keep a clone
but
alive.
you don't have to. Wukong has bewilderments and chainmails, and so just use your clones. It's so crazy.
And if you thought Electra was bad, for that specific part of just insane value,
right?
It's crazy. And then
now the thing that makes it less crazy is it does cost a health.
Yep, that's true.
That's what makes it feel not so bad. Imagine if it wasn't a health. You know, that'd be awful. Yeah?
Doing math.
Sorry, guys. He decided to do math midstream. We'll be here a while. I'm kidding. So where do we want Wukong? I know where I want Wukong, but I'm also conflicted.
You know where you want the clones?
Sorry, yes, correct. It's the same
They're
thing.
the best?
It's the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the best.
They are the best?
They are the best.
Yes, 100%.
Because they're just a hero. They're just heroes. They're multiple heroes, you know? Which is unfortunate because I do want those ninjas, those samurai, to be better, but they're not better. Because, again, the clones are just clones. They are heroes. They are Wukong.
57.
57 what?
All right, guys. We just did some quick maths here. Theoretically, if you were to max heal Wukong for, all 3 Phoenix forms. Let's say you get all 3 Phoenix forms for 3 healing each, and you play it 4 times. So I guess it's actually 4, because you played it and then you recurred it 3 times. So you get 12 healing. Start with 17 health, and 17 plus 12 is an insane number. It's like 30. I can't do math right now, but it's 29.
I believe you.
29.
I trust you.
29 health total. Then you subtract 1 because Wukong Prime needs to have at least 1 health remaining, right, in order for you to not lose the game.
Right.
Let's say, though, you have all those clones. Your remaining 28 health has been divvied up into 28 clones over the course of the game. 28 clones. And then you attack each of those clones with, let's say, a 2-value attack. That's 56 health. 56 damage that you're diverting from Wukong Prime with your clones. And that's only if you're attacking the clones with just 2-value attacks. Realistically, you're probably going to have to do 3s or 4s. Yeah. So 57 health was the total number I got. As like, if you did that maximum clone thing and you forced a person to attack every single clone, but I don't even know if people can do that much damage in the course of a game. And you have to do it to 28 different targets.
Right. So you're moving and attacking, moving.
So
most likely,
let's say every single one of your cards is a purple, or an attack card, like Shakespeare, and you spent every single one of your cards on 1 clone. That means you only have 2 cards left in deck to even attack Wukong Prime.
This is why. So crazy. Wukong against melee is a nightmare. Specifically solo melee.
Yeah.
Because you can just body block for days. I love this. How do you feel about it? Any glaring holes, guys? How do you feel about it? Hey Roman, thank you for the suggestion. Roman Pinchuk said, "Well, I'm glad you took my idea for your video. It's early morning in Europe, but I'm definitely watching it. Cheers." Well, cheers, Roman. Yeah, it's a cool video. Been wanting to do it actually for a while, but I just knew that it would be this intensive. I'm glad we waited though until we got The Witcher in. That's really cool. Most surprising. What's the most surprising, guys? Let me know in the chat. Most surprising ranking. Do you guys agree? Do you disagree? How do you feel about it? I like the final shape that we landed on too. It's really cool.
Yeah, it looks great.
Triangle. But what's the one that like stands out as like, okay, criminally low, criminally high? Disagree.
It is
the most confusing one for me. Is still Triss.
It's still Triss, like
because Yennefer's on the other side of that, right? Let's not forget Yennefer's on the other side of this coin. So that makes it weird because she should be up there.
Potentially,
but
if you're really trying to keep her alive. Though I guess one that the most surprising for me is probably Jabberwock.
Because he was one of the best sidekicks for such a long time.
Yeah, and people still talk about Jabberwock. I did. It was like, he's one of the best sidekicks in the game. And he's not bad.
But
that's what's crazy.
Right.
That's really what's crazy, is that, like, really thinking about the value they add, what capabilities they have. He's down here, and he's actually a pretty good sidekick.
There are only 3 bad sidekicks, I would say. 1, 2, and Wiggy. But Wiggy still has so much value.
He can add a lot to a game.
You know?
And then Wong and Dandelion are both, like
weird, like
kind of good.
They're kind of good, but in different ways, right?
Not very useful.
Like Dandelion has some good cards, but there's only 6 of them.
Yeah.
So it's a weird. Yeah, there's a lot of really good sidekicks.
Mm-hmm.
In Unmatched in general. There are so many really, really good sidekicks.
Yeah.
And the thing, at least in our opinion, we rank this, that makes the best sidekick is the swapping ability. If you can swap with your hero, that's huge.
Diverting damage away from your hero, like, just it helps you win the game.
Right.
Like, it just makes it, because your hero is the only one you need, right?
And then vice versa, swapping into, like, whoever you need to protect is who you're swapping, right?
That makes it so hard for your opponent to kill who they need to kill.
And it's either swapping or you have so many. It's just you're either swarming with so many sidekicks that you don't really care. The 1 health sidekicks, who cares?
Yeah.
Or it's a swapping kind of thing, and we've got swarm, swap, just beefcake,
Crazy damage.
Yeah.
And win con.
Beefcake, no swap, but just so like you don't want to fight her. We've got incredible. Right, so the other thing is just like really good cards, really, really good cards, and he's just got really, really good cards, really, really good kit, and the schemes, that's right, so good. Swap, just really good value. Swarm
Crazy value
and swap, which is why we like. So
and combo potential of just killing you.
And combo, right, attacking.
In reality,
these
should probably be lower.
We should bump this higher.
And this guy should be.
Looking at.
Just in practice, there's a lot more needed.
Because it's all.
You have to have a setup.
Right.
You know, it's not just like with Daisy. It's just like she just does her thing.
But I just it makes you sad.
But the ceiling for them.
I'm gonna do that then.
It does. It is true.
I know it's
what
true.
sucks is that in the game they are the most successful. Wukong's and they're so good. Well, yeah. In terms of like the opponents need to kill them, it's higher than Oberon.
You think so?
Yeah. You need to kill them more because if you leave them alone, they'll probably kill you.
Yeah. Okay.
But all you have to do is focus them and
that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Dave the Hutt said, "For me, Rose and Gilly are too low. I know, hot take, but they are just too vital to playing a decent Hamlet game."
I agree. But what does a decent Hamlet game really look like?
You followed up with, if a decent Hamlet game is possible.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true. They are important. Same with the Squirrels. The Squirrels are very important for Squirrel to play a decent Squirrel Girl game.
But, like, what is
that?
Yeah.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for watching. There is... How many sidekicks? $38 sidekicks.
So meaning there's only what 12?
No, 22
solo fighters. 22 solo fighters.
Yeah, 60 fighters.
Oh, there's 60 now. You're so right.
Well, 60 if you count Triss Yen twice. So 59. So 21.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm still back forgetting all the new fighters we have.
There you have it, guys. There's 21 sidekicks ranked. Thanks for watching with us. Thanks for hanging out. That was a fun video.
Yeah,
fun challenge. We'll see you guys.
Was this a captain's log?
This is basically a captain's log. No, this is just it's a Toolers Tuesday.
On Thursday.
We'll see you guys next time. Hopefully we'll be playing some Unmatched. Not sure what we want to play. Post in the comments below. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to play? Because those get put into my brain, and then I put those into the votes. Then you guys voted. You guys voted on this one. If you did not like this video, make sure you vote on the next one. Your vote matters. And thank you for all the... I think it was like... I don't know, like 40-something people that voted.
Oh, wow.
But as always, this is your captain signing off. That's O-Town. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.